feeling my note is we don't have time for this.
We don't have time for this.
We don't have time for this. Do this later.
People are dying.
People are dying.
Rude people are dying.
People are dying.
Yes, yes.
Welcome.
Welcome to Fizz and Fiction.
Oh man, today.
We're here for it.
The behemoth of the third. Wait, it's a Flame of Shadow, right?
Yeah, Flame of Shadow.
House of Flame of Shadow, third Crescent City book. That's what we're talking about today. And it was a ride.
The last one we read was an hour and 45 minutes. Just like buckle in, team.
Yep. Get ready.
Get ready.
Get ready. Yeah.
We're feeling we're finally here. Like, we started this series, the whole series.
Yeah.
2 months ago.
Yeah. And can I say, I am so glad we didn't have to wait.
Oh my god, I would have, from the last book to this book, God bless any of you that did that.
Yes. Cheers to you. Cheers to you.
To you. You deserve.
You're the real heroes.
All the.
Yeah, all the accolades.
Praise.
Yeah. Oh, man, because I would have died. Because we all know how the last one ended.
Left.
Yeah, so today we're talking about the third book, which we don't know if it's the, like...
It's probably, I think it's the
final one of this arc.
Yeah. I think we can confidently say that at least. There's
Yeah.
definitely like things you could explore more.
Yeah. I'm like, let's get a little Christmas book, like, I always think of it as a Christmas book. That fourth book in
Could you imagine?
ACOTAR. I'm like, give me that.
Could you imagine like the little Hunt and Bryce like
Yeah.
Christmas tree decorating?
That's what I need. That's what I need in my life.
They invite Rune over? No, okay. Anyways.
So today we're talking about
House of Flame and Shadow.
House of Flame and Shadow.
Crescent City novel.
Okay, so what's your rating of this book?
5.
5?
Like, I get people didn't like parts of it, but I was so entertained.
I'd give it a point. I'd give it a 5. I give it a 5 just because of the appreciation that I have of this story.
Yeah.
Even if like there were parts that annoyed me.
Yes, 100%.
Because there were.
There were.
We'll get into it. But I'd still give it a 5.
But it's just the masterful way that you can like interweave these stories and like even not just like the stories in this book, but like in other books.
Like, girl, your murderboard is probably wild.
And I would love to see your.
Oh my gosh, it's like probably a whole room in her house.
Sarah, show it to us. We want to see it.
It has to be.
It's just like
it has to be.
It's storytelling at its best.
It is.
And I know that like there were certain things, but like
there were absolutely certain things that annoyed me. But overall, yeah, I'd give it a 5.
I'd give it a. We were entertained from the moment it started.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'd agree.
It's just great. And I'll read the dust jacket for you guys.
Yes.
Because we have not heard the dust jacket quite yet.
Nope.
Okay. A world in darkness. A burning spark. A blaze of stars.
Love it.
Bryce Quinlan never expected to leave Midgard. But now that she has, all she wants to do is get back. Everything she loves is in Midgard. Her family, her friends, her mate. Stranded in a strange new world, she's going to need to keep all of her wits about her if she wants to find her way home again. And that's no easy feat when she has no idea who to trust. Hunt Athalar has found himself in some deep holes in his life. But this one might be the deepest of all. Yeah. After a few brief moments of having everything he ever wanted...
So brief.
He's imprisoned again, stripped of his freedom, and without a clue as to Bryce's fate. Mm-hmm. He's desperate to help her, but until he can escape the Asteri's leash, his hands are quite literally tied. LOL. And this breathtaking sequel to the #1 best-selling House of Earth and Blood and House of Sky and Breath, Bryce and Hunt's world is brought to the brink of collapse, with its future resting on their shoulders.
I feel like that's a
really nice, that's a good one.
That's a great dust jacket.
That's a great dust jacket.
Yeah, 100%. I'm here for it.
It's intense. It's intense.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Get out of here if you haven't read it.
Yes, leave.
Whew, here we go.
Because we about to get into it.
Before we do, I do want to say, each book we've tried to read together, and this is the closest we have come to reading together.
Yeah.
Because I read super fast, and Spencer slowed the hell down.
And I hated it so much.
She hated it? And it was stressful for me, too.
I feel like the bridge to Gap is just too great. But to like this
between us,
between the
that sounds like really sad, actually.
Well, but it's just like because you hated because at one point I was just like I'm chomping at the bit, and Chris is like, okay, we'll read 100 pages each night.
Yeah. So at first I'd given us 3 days for each 100 pages,
and I was just like.
And she was losing her damn mind.
I was like, what's next?
She read them all in a day and then had 2 days to wait for me.
Yeah.
So then...
That's exactly how it went.
So then like halfway... I think it was about halfway through.
Yeah.
I was like, alright, I will commit to reading them every night. Yeah. And we'll finish this like, 2 weeks ahead of schedule.
And I love that.
And she did.
But you hate it, so it's like, it's it's very different.
It's very different. But I think that it was fun reading it together because then like... We could discuss things.
And make, like, predictions.
And make predictions.
Yeah. And I will say that. I like that part of it.
And I will say, like, I think I could do it for a book that wasn't so big. Like, if we were reading, like, Blood and Honey together or something.
Yeah.
Like, I could read that kind of book in, like, 3 days.
Yeah, that's fair. This is just, like...
No problem.
It's just a huge...
It's a huge book.
Huge book. A lot of stuff
It takes me an hour to read 50 pages.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, you trying to read it in a night...
I mean, it's not... I'm not saying what I'm doing is healthy.
This book has like 100 pages, so it takes...
Like, what I'm doing
16 hours!
What I'm doing is not healthy.
16 hours!
What I'm doing is not healthy. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's hard.
Yes. It's hard on my soul.
It's hard.
But it's also allowed me to take notes for the first time. I'm like on the Spencer. Mm-hmm. And I took so many.
Okay.
So I'm really excited to like dive in for the first time with actual like thoughts.
Yes.
Usually my thoughts are just vibes. So.
Just vibes. Just vibing.
Just vibing.
Okay, my first note is the prologue, and this one is way better. Because it's the Hind.
Yes. I said, love the prologue with Lydia. I'm a big fan.
Because we hated the prologue in the second book.
It was so...
we were like, what is
Who
this?
Who are you?
We were like, this has no meaning. Like, oh, it was just... And it was so long.
It was 20 pages.
It was 20 pages.
It was 20
that
pages.
were just, like, felt so drawn out.
Which, technically, the Hind is a lot as well.
Yeah.
Lydia.
No, that's true. That's true. Yeah. But this one, I feel like we cared about her more.
I wrote, she won me over instantly. Yeah. But I get why Rune doesn't trust her.
Yeah, I get it. Like, it's a...
So a quick, like, just, like, reminder. Yeah. Bryce has found her way somehow to Perithian Akatar world. Mm-hmm. And Hunt and his little crew are trapped in the Assyri's Crystal Palace. Yes. Being tortured to try and find out where Bryce is. Yes. And leading that torture is Lydia as the Hind because she is still a double agent. Yep. And that's where we're kind of, like, at right now.
Yep. And then part 1 starts, and Bryce wakes up, not in hell.
Not in hell.
Not in hell.
It's like, it's so green here. It's so weird.
It's like, wow, I didn't think hell would be so beautiful. She's in Akatar world.
She's in Akatar world.
Which is great.
And, you know, we were saying at the end of... So I just edited our Crescent City 2... this podcast, whatever this is, and we kept being like, it was Cassian and Nesta, but it was Azriel and
it was Az, yeah.
They didn't give names, so we didn't know.
They didn't. There was just like this man with wings.
I just assumed Nesta was with Cassian.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, they're together.
Yeah,
at this point.
Whatever. So yeah, so it's not them, but
yeah. So she lands there. Yeah, and I will say, so like, and I try to like stay away from as much spoilers as possible. Yeah, but one thing that I remember just kind of like seeing, like kind of on like as a whatever on TikTok or Instagram was that people didn't like that they were like, oh, like we got a crossover, like, but they weren't in it that much. I remember seeing that. They were in it the whole fucking first part.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Like, people were like, oh, I didn't get, like, the crossover I wanted.
Okay, I will, and, like, the only thing I would say is we didn't get Rhys and Feyre.
Yeah, we didn't.
If that's what you were looking for, that's not what you're getting.
No. But we got them the whole first part. She was with them.
And, like, intimately with them. Like, they were, like, in it together.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like, I didn't reading this book, I didn't understand those, like, criticisms. Because I'm like, we were there. Yeah. Like, she was, like, in the thick of it.
And I wrote that I loved every minute with our Akatar crew. But I'm just, like, sad they don't trust each other.
Oh,
like,
I know.
I get it. Like, you don't know what I know.
I'm like, we know.
You're great, just trust each other.
Just, like, be great together.
Be great together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you get it from their points of view. But, like, because we know each of them, we're just, like, you're good. You're both good guys.
Exactly. And it's like, I did appreciate Rhys was like, I'm not going to break into your mind. Like, you have to invite me. And she's like, I don't invite you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. One of my first notes is, like, poor Therian, because he, like, sold himself into, I don't want to call it, I guess it's basically slavery.
Basically.
He defected.
Yeah.
To the Viper Queen.
To the Viper Queen.
And she just, like, got her claws in him.
She's a fascinating character, because, like, I don't hate her.
Yeah. She doesn't do anything that's, like, directly...
She's like that, like, lawful neutral. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you see, like, those charts before. It's like, she serves her own self-interest. She's never going to, like, outright try and harm someone.
No, like, she's never pulling the trigger.
And she does help people.
Yeah, but when it benefits
in her self-interest. Yeah.
Like, she's looking out for number one.
Yeah. One of my first things I wrote is, I'm not sold on Siggy. I kind of want Ethan to be alpha. And I just want to pause right here for a minute, because, like I said, I just edited our
Crescent City book.
We were dead set on is her name Sigrid? I call her Siggy. On Siggy and Ethan getting together, and, like, her being alpha and him being, like, her mate.
Yeah.
And, like, I lost that immediately. Immediately I disliked her.
Yeah.
Like, immediately disliked her.
Yeah, she was...
She sucks.
One of mine first was, still glad we have some of the gang together in the city with Flynn and Declan and Ethan. I do love their dynamic.
I love...
Like, the little frat boy dynamic.
I love the frat crew.
Yeah.
The frat crew is good. And
because that's
what
I love so much about the second book, is you got so much of them together.
Yes. Yeah.
And we were spoiled.
You were. But, like, you do get, like, the side group together. Yeah. And, like, they're all, like, Ethan's like, we have to save Therian. And they're like, do we?
Yeah.
Like, no, we have to. I'm like, okay.
I do love the side characters in this book.
She does good on side characters in general. Like, you care.
Yeah, I'm just not like...
I know they're not the main characters, but I want them all to be happy.
Yeah. There's, like, some books that, you read and you're just like, I don't care about their side story. Like, whatever happens to them, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, they're not the main people.
Yeah, but she does a really good job of making me care.
Yes, 100%.
One of my next notes is just, like, Rune heartbreak, because she's trying to reach him.
She's going through, like, their mind connection.
And he's just like, nah. He's like...
And I get it. I get it.
Absolutely.
She is a horrible, she's done horrible things.
It's so, like, hard for him to reconcile that in his mind.
It is.
It's like, I've seen you do these horrible things.
But, like, I love you.
I know. It's just like, almost like a battle within himself. It's just like, how can
He's so mad at himself,
How can I put this and this together and equal something good?
And, like, part of it's probably also, like, what does it even matter? Like, I'm gonna die here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's being straight up tortured.
Yeah. I did what got on my nerves, and this is kind of like, not through the whole book, but through, like, the first part of it a lot, because one of my next notes is, like, when they were in the, like, the Viper Queen's part of town, and Ethan is trying so hard to save Therian, and I'm like...
He's the goodest guy.
He is.
He's a little good boy. Good boy.
And Therian is just like, he throws himself such a pity party, I feel like. And I get annoyed with it. And I understand, because it's like, you don't have anywhere to go. But he makes very questionable decisions.
He's doing it to himself.
He does. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen when you sold yourself to the Viper Queen?
Right?
What did you think was going to happen? I just don't.
He's like thinking too short term, honestly.
Yes, he's like, I'm going to act now and think later.
Yeah, I'll deal with the consequences. Yeah. There's so many fucking consequences.
And there's so many fucking consequences, because now his friends are trying to... Ethan's like, I'm not leaving you here. Because he's a good guy. He's like, you're my pack. He's like, I don't have a pack. You're my pack. Oh, and he's just like, I'm going to save you. And then... So, like, my next one, and I'm like, I feel like maybe what's your next note? Because I might have skipped some. I might have been enthralled.
Where are we right now?
We're still in part 1. Yes. Like, they, like, have Rune and them captured.
Yeah.
They're like...
My next notes are, like, about... I'm back to, Bryce and Nesta.
Oh, okay, so go over that, because I think I, like, was enthralled. Okay. Yeah, I think...
That's a good part, yeah. So, they're interrogating Bryce.
Yes.
And...
Bryce is like, I don't trust you.
They recognize the star on her chest, because Nesta has a star tattoo, which I don't remember that.
I
Do
don't
you
remember
that?
I don't remember that either.
I wrote
and
down,
now
like,
I'm wondering if I need.
that.
Now I'm like waiting to get back to reread that other book. So I'm like, maybe I missed some stuff because I was probably so annoyed with Nesta. I was just like
fuck
fucking.
This bitch. But yeah, I wrote that. I don't remember Nesta's star tat, and then like, what's the deal with these swords? So like, her big sword is calling to Asriel's dagger,
the truth teller.
And they're freaked out. She's freaked out, but she can like hear it as a presence.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah. They like have a mind of their own.
Yeah. So I did guess at this point, 13 chapters in, my best guess right now is that all this ancient Fae stuff is from their ancestors and they're children of Thea. And one stayed behind and one went and we're going to do some...
The ancestors always screw it up for these people.
Yeah,
like
they suck.
They're like, oh, I made this decision and just not think about the consequences later on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But then, so they like leave her alone. They're like, whatever, you don't want to talk, fine, bye. They leave her alone in the like cell and she's like losing her mind basically. So she escapes down the grates of the cell and she can like hear the little monsters and she's like, whatever, going for it.
Yeah.
And she gets down. Oh.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
And she gets down there, and, like, she uses her little star power for a little bit to, like, keep them away.
Yeah.
And then she makes it through, and Nesta happens upon her.
That's my next...
As a cave-in.
That's my next note. I was like, ugh, why did Nesta have to be the one with Bryce in the tunnel?
Why? Would you rather be Elaine? No.
No! I'd rather be anybody else.
But I will say, like, I can't see Feyre doing it.
No. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, and then, like, but before that, they shot Sabine.
Oh, they did, but, like, it didn't kill her.
Yeah. But I was like, what the fuck, they shot Sabine?
Yeah.
And now that the thing is like, that they shot Sabine.
Yeah, Wolfpack!
Yeah, Wolfpack. Vader!
It's probably the neighbor's dog.
Yeah. So they shot Sabine, but the thing is, was when they shot Sabine, they like, the Viper Queen, and this is what I hated. This is why I'm like, y'all don't think. Because they shot Sabine, and then the Viper Queen, like, because they were like leaving, and then
the pack attacked them. And
then they opened, like, the Viper Queen, like, basically, like, opened her door and was like, you can seek refuge here, essentially. Like, you shot her, like, come in before they come and get you.
Yeah.
And they did! I'm like, y'all, what are we doing here?
It's because she's, again, just like that weird neutral. Sometimes she is being good, and sometimes she's not.
Yeah.
And she has the dragon there, too.
Yeah. Oh, and then also before, like, Nesta's in the tunnel with her, they go back to the prison, and Hunt thinks he sees death, and it's one of the guys.
Oh, it's the,
and I was like...
The pit. Prince of the Pit.
I was like, more crypticness about Hunt's lineage. They're so cryptic about it, and he's just like, tell me.
My thing is like, it spent 3 books alluding to something, and I'm like, how is no one just straight up asked?
Right. And he's just, and at that point, he's just like, just tell me. And they're still just like super cryptic.
And when we get to that part, I do have things from what we said in Crescent City too.
Oh, okay.
That is fun.
Yes, okay, she's in the tunnel, she's with Nesta.
There's a cave-in, and then, like, pretty quickly, it's like, alright, Az, come out. Because, like, Asriel...
Yeah, he's like the shadow. Yeah. Yeah. And then, in between that, the Hind comes to them. I forgot how she comes to them.
Well, she's in charge of torturing them.
No, she comes to Declan and them to tell them that...
Oh, she comes to the Viper Queen. She's there to buy drugs.
That's what she does.
She's there to buy drugs.
I can't remember what she did.
She's like, be ready.
She is. She's like, be ready. This happening in like X amount of days. If you're not there, like, we're screwed.
And like, do we trust her?
Exactly. And, and she's like, I'm Agent Day or whatever. And I'm like
who else would know that?
Because they didn't know.
They didn't know.
Because we found that out like when they went to
they were already in the palace.
Yeah, they weren't there.
Yeah.
So I was like, they better help the Hind. I need them out of prison. And more of them to be together. Oh, and then my next note, because after this, we get back into, like, Nesta and them. Vader!
Pitter patter. There it is. Hey, you're okay.
Get right here. Hey.
safe.
We're good. Goodness.
We're safe.
My next note, like, when they're, like, in the caves with her, like, Az and, all them, I was like, how do I like Nesta in this book than any other book?
Yes. I'm switching teams right here.
It was...
You gave me a whole book on Nesta and I didn't like her.
That is what was wild.
I think it's
because we all read that book and we were just like, we hated her the whole book.
And I
the whole book.
That was her redemption arc, and I still didn't like her.
Yeah, I didn't redeem her.
You gave me 30 seconds with her in a cave with Bryce, and
it was like, she was
witty banter.
She was so much better.
She was so much better, and like, and you know, all I can think is that she's finally processed all her bullshit trauma,
gotten past some of it,
and like, this is who she, like, hopefully who she truly is.
Yeah.
If none of that had happened.
Yeah. This is. I'm hoping that in the next Akatar book that she's like this.
She's like this. Because I could get on board with this.
Because if she goes back to her bullshit, I'm like...
Because, like, this Nesta could help Elaine.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And, like, her being friends with Az in this book makes sense if Az is part of this upcoming book.
Yeah. But I liked her in this book than I liked her in any other book.
Immediately, almost, so,
yes!
Too. Immediately.
And I think it was because she wasn't interacting with those people that she just, like, is so awful to.
That's
like
the thing.
Cassian and Reese and, like...
and
Feyre, she's awful at Feyre.
She's so bad. She likes Az. And, like, Cassian's in here for 30 seconds, too.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, she's never had an issue with them because, like, they didn't do anything to her.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. So... I like to think this is, like, the real her.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping.
I'm hoping.
Because I liked her in this book.
I will be hopeful for Nesta.
Please. Yeah. She was...
But I liked her.
I liked her in this book.
I did.
And it was so conflicting with my feelings from her. Exactly. I was like, why do I like her so much?
Exactly. Like, it took a whole ass book for you to give me a whole...
Right, and this isn't even your book.
It's not even your book, Nesta.
Oh, yeah. It was wild.
But yeah, so she's... in there with them, and they're, like, walking through the tunnels, and they see all these, like, paintings.
Oh, yeah, telling a story.
Telling a story of, like, the Fae that were here before, etc., etc., and, like, they're just kind of, like, she's following her star. Her star is, like, lit up in the right direction to go, which is great. And one of the first things she does, though, is she cuts herself and is, like, leaving a trail of blood, which is so sketchy. And that's, like, one of my next notes is the whole, like, the worm attacking, which, like, the worm being, like, other places, like, I don't know, that like weirded me out.
Oh,
it makes sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't just, like, hang out under mountains.
Yeah.
But I wrote here, Nesta uses a death mask, which, like, was a big deal, I feel like.
Yes. And my next note was, like, Nesta responding to, like, Nyx and, like, taking, like, Az being like, take this mask off, like, you have this person, and then, like, last it was, like, Nyx, and she, like, takes the mask off. I'm like, you love it.
You're an aunt, and, like, you probably, like, really feel that.
I know. And that's why I'm like, I like her. It's just, it's night and day. It really is.
It is.
It's just like, because if you had told me, like, in one of the first books where I, like, saw Nesta, and, like, she had a nephew, I'd be like, she don't fucking care about that.
Like, children, I kick children.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. It was.
But seeing the death mask was, like, weird again.
It was.
For her to be using it, like, so willy-nilly.
It seemed just, like, so, like, encompassing of, like, everything around it.
And then my next note is OMG phones.
Oh my god! She's like, what is this phone?
She's like, I took this from you. Is it important?
Yes.
And she's like, I mean, yeah. She's like, but, like, what is it?
Yeah, it's funny.
It's so funny.
And, like, her, I think she, like, tries to explain, like, a photo. It's just, like, this is, like, it in a moment of time. A portrait in a moment of time.
Yes.
It's real funny.
It's so funny.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, mine says, them wanting to know how phone works. LOL.
It's so cute.
Oh, and then Rune telling, Lydia, that's her name, right?
Yeah.
That she's dead to him.
I was so heartbroken.
I was like, you are killing me. I get it. That's the whole thing. I was like, I get it, but I also am like...
He, like, wouldn't talk to her, wouldn't look at her. When he finally died, he's like, you're dead to me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god. This is too much.
It's too much.
Oh.
It's too much.
Yeah.
I did write that I'm really thankful that we're only leaving, like, Bryce's story for short periods of time.
Yes.
Like, we were, like, continuously getting the, like, actual, like, what's going on. Because, like, that can be really annoying.
Yeah, when you don't go back to, like, you're almost like your, not like your main plot point, but, like, your...
It's the main story.
Yeah. It's like your main setting, even. Like, your main world.
Yeah. So I appreciated that.
Yeah. My next note was, OMG, we're a pack, crying, because I think Ethan was, like, telling Therian, he's like, we're a pack.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not leaving you here.
You're the alpha.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what we got next. What we got next?
I think I wrote, so Bryce and Reese are cousins, right?
Oh yeah,
we're like in the cave now.
Yeah,
and like we're getting like the hologram projections of the other girl.
Which is wild because we're not even in the world of technology.
I know. I'm like,
and she's like leaving this stuff.
It makes me think of like Star Wars. Like I'm like imagining like a hologram projection of like what happened, but it's like magic. And I'm like,
it's magic.
How convenient,
right? That they knew how to do this. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I put like I gotta remind myself which one Thea is. Because there's so, like
Thea's the one in our world.
And she's the mom. She's the main mom.
She's the mom.
And then she had 2 daughters.
She had 2 daughters.
And and that's who she is. They're all descendant, and she's descendant of one of her daughters.
Yeah, she's descendant of the one that stayed in Crescent City.
Yes, and then the other one went back home.
The other one came back home,
which is
that's who Reese is descendant from.
Yes, and that is who
she's a High Lady of the Night Court,
and that is who's like she's getting these messages from. Yes, this like projection.
Yes,
that's what I had to keep reminding myself because I was like, I need just like it was almost like when we have a map. I'm like, I need a family tree.
Yes,
I'm like, can we get a family tree just like posted?
I'm like pretty sure Bryce and Reese are cousins.
Yeah,
like, that's like how that would work.
That seems right.
But
but she
Thea was not who we thought she was though. So the story for Thea, so her daughter is sharing the story of how they came into the world in Midgard.
Yep.
And basically, they like opened this rift with the horn.
Mm-hmm. They went through. They made it through the cauldron. They made it. Yeah, they made the horn through the cauldron.
Yes, a lot of things. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so they get there, and she like meets because they had defeated like the oldest series, the D word, the Draken. The Drac.
I forget what it's called.
It's like a D word.
Yeah.
They defeated them, and then like time passed, and then like she like went through them, and they're like she didn't recognize them for who they were basically.
Yeah.
So Regulus is there. And she's like, ooh, like, this is a new world. This is so great. We can be powerful. We can rule here, basically. Yeah. And so she realizes too late what's going on. And she tries to send her daughters home. Mm-hmm. But, like, things are, like, happening very fast. So she, like, splits her power between her 2 daughters and herself. Mm-hmm. And she manages to get just with the
little power she has left, or whatever. She gets they open the thing
but she doesn't keep the horn, so I'm trying to remember. I guess something else opens that rift then.
I think they sound it, but it stays here.
Okay, so like it opens.
And one of her daughters
goes through, and then it shuts on all the people, and she's pissed about that.
And this is when, and so I'm like, damn, Thea, you suck.
She does.
Literally my note. Because it's like, she opens this rift, and like one of the daughters goes through, and they're not letting anybody else go through.
They're like, take the children, and they're like, no.
Yeah. And that, like, I will say, in this book, they really harped on Bryce's dislike for the Fae.
Oh, she was like, fuck these bitches.
Yeah. And that's like part of why she didn't trust them when she met like Az and Nesta too, because she's like, they're Fae.
Oh, she was like, yeah, so she doesn't trust the Fae because like, basically she's like, you have an immortal life, you have powers, and just like by default you're gonna want to like rule over people and like you become corrupt.
She got a bad taste in her mouth.
She got like, to be fair, her dad
sucks. And then like back in the
past,
in the other book when the portals to hell opened and all the demons came in, the Fae just like
they closed their doors.
Yeah. They're like, no, we're not helping anybody.
And so but also in this like flashback, she's seeing the Fae also be shitty people.
Yes, and she's like, oh, this is in them.
Yeah, like they're like, we are like, the Fae are corrupt people that don't care about like humans basically, and she's half human.
Yeah, she's like, my people.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that whole thing, I was just like, man, these ancestors suck. That's like the theme in all these books. It's just like the ancestors do this shit, and it's just like...
And like, you do get glimpses of them being like remorseful for it, but it's too late at that point.
It's too late. Like Thea was, and it's just like, girl, it's too late. We're done.
It's too late.
And then she was like in love with the Prince of Hell.
And I love him.
I know! And I was like, what do you see in her? I was like, what do you see in her?
Like, I think that she did learn later, but I'm like...
And I think that's what he was like. He was like, later she was regretful.
And he was like, she was my mate, and we found each other across, like, the cosmos.
Yeah.
But I love that for him, not her.
I know! It's like the whole thing with Cassian. Like, also, it's like, how can I have him be happy and her
and
not be happy?
I mean, she does die, so that's great.
That's fair. And then we go back to Crescent City, and the Viper Queen's like, you can leave if you win this fight.
Oh yeah, I'll give you like Therian kind of thing.
Yeah, I'll release him and release y'all.
And it'll be I'll be the only one watching.
Yes, it's not a public fight.
And he's an idiot because he doesn't ask who I'm fighting. And like,
yeah, they assume it's like the dragon.
And the Therian convinces her to leave.
Yeah, he's like,
which I thought was sweet.
He was like, don't kill him, like all this kind of stuff. And then she leaves.
She leaves of her own accord.
And, but yeah, my note is I hope that at the end of all this, the Viper Queen gets hers.
She does.
Slowly and painfully.
She doesn't.
No, she doesn't.
Like, she's just kind of like...
I was one of my pain points in this book was that she didn't get hers.
I think that again, I think it makes sense. Like, she's not bad or
other
good.
people got theirs, and I just wanted her to get hers too.
But like, she's just like, she's not a bad guy. She's not a good guy. Yeah, she's just like there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then... So she's like, okay, we're going to have this fight. Ethan, you fight this fight, and if you win, you can go.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's going to be the dragon. And it's not the dragon, and it's Siggy. It's Siggy.
And at first I was like, okay, they like...
Maybe they're not fighting to the death. Maybe they're just like going to pin, like, to... Like,
knock out. But this bitch, she sucks. Like, I get that you've been... Okay, to be fair... I get that you've been trapped in, like, whatever for so long. Mm-hmm. That sucks for you. I get that you probably also have this, like, alpha need inside of you to be right and to, like, win.
Yeah, it's probably an instinct.
I get that.
Yeah.
These people saved you. Ethan put so much trust in you.
Right. He, like, literally is, like, putting his life on the line for you.
For you.
Yeah.
And you spat on that. You were like...
Yeah.
I don't care. I'll kill you. I don't care. I'll kill you.
Yeah. And then...
He's so mad. And then he kills her.
Accidentally. And that's what... He was like, because she doesn't know...
She doesn't know her body really.
She doesn't know her body. And she's like, moved too quick. And what he thought was going to be like a blow to like her shoulder or something.
Yeah, it's
her neck.
Her throat.
And he basically like ripped her throat out.
Yeah. Well, like, I wasn't mad, honestly.
I was like, oh shit.
Like, oh shit, but...
Yeah, I was like, did he actually kill her, or can she grow a new throat? Poor Ethan.
You really don't know the rules here?
You don't. That's why I was like, is she actually dead? I didn't know at first.
Like, I think that's a little, like...
It's cop-out.
It's
very morally, where it's like, there's no rules.
It's like, let me just decide who I want to live or not.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, my next note, because I think it flipped back to Bryce, was like, man, these earlier generations really screwing over the descendants, leaving an Asteria in a coffin just chilling. Oh, yeah. So you go back. She's finished the video, the vlog. And she, like, puts together that there's something below.
Yeah, because, like, so she can see that the area where we're in the prison.
Yeah.
And she can see where the prison used to be was, like, this beautiful, lush landscape of, like, a castle, essentially.
Yeah,
for, like,
but it's, like, drains it.
But there's, like, this draining, and, like, you see that whoever that ancestor is has been putting all these, like, horrible people in to cover up, like, what's really lurking there, and it's an Asteria sleeping.
In a coffin.
It's
wild.
Which is so interesting, because, like, she's not one of the, like, 7 Asteria, so it tells you that it tells you, though, that that means that there's more of them out there.
It's a race of people.
It's a race of people who are not just doing this in, like, one small group.
Yeah.
They're doing it in, like, large pockets.
Yeah.
And she hasn't fed in, like, 15,000 years.
She's just chilling.
Still a bitch.
Yeah.
So they wake her up, and she's, like, biding her time, essentially, talking to them.
Yeah.
I did like, she was like, I'm the black hole, and she's like, so-and-so's the black hole, and she's like, no, he's not, or whatever it, like, was.
So my next note, I was like, hot take, but Bryce freeing that, because she frees her.
Yeah. Because she wants to hear from her, I think.
I was like, freeing that Asteria seems pretty reckless.
Yeah.
I was like, what makes her, and this is when okay, and we'll get into this. But I was like, what makes her any better than her ancestors that she now despises, knowingly releasing this evil on a world? She doesn't know that she can
kill her.
Kill her.
Yeah.
Full of innocence just to maybe get answers.
It's naive. It's naive.
It is.
It is.
And it brings me to, like, a point of this whole book where it's like, overall, I did enjoy this book. I still give it a 5.
Yeah.
But, like, and through the whole first part,
On board.
Mm-hmm. But then in the second and third part and at the end of this, like...
Mm-hmm. She makes choices.
She does. And they start writing her... And I'm like...
She's not the same person.
Yes!
Right?
Yes!
Right. She's really not.
I'm, like, getting annoyed with her. And I... Like, through the first and second book, I just don't get annoyed with her. And then I start to get annoyed with her.
Because, like, I wrote down that, like, I understand, like, where our Prithian people are mistrusting of her.
Yes.
Because, like, she is doing this shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that is going to endanger them. Like, I'm watching you endanger us right now.
She literally released that Asteri in their world.
In their world.
I'm like, I wouldn't trust you either.
I would not trust you either.
Like, you just did this.
No.
Yeah. I got real annoyed with that. And then I said, I guess we're all monsters in some way.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's literally what I was like. I guess we're all monsters in some way.
But so they do end up killing the Assyri lady with the sword. Yep. She is weak though. She hasn't fed in 15,000 years.
Exactly.
But she's trying to feed on the first light that's hiding underneath her.
That's where she finds that first light.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they kill her, whatever. Time slows down.
And that's the end of the first part. They kill her.
Yeah, and Bryce realizes... Oh, that's the end of the first part. Okay.
In the first part, they kill her.
Yeah. But, like, once they kill her, Bryce kind of realizes that, like, there's, like, this power underneath them. Mm-hmm. And she...
leaves.
She sucks it up first.
Sucks it up.
She sucks it up. It's, like, inside
and
her
that's in the first part she leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did write that, like, I don't think that Bryce owes them anything.
No, she's trying to protect... But I'm just like, also like, girl, the thing is, she knows what these Asteri are capable of.
Yes. So
like,
she should have done that.
Yeah.
But I do think that had she, like, stayed, she would have been a prisoner or killed. So, like, why would she stay?
Yes.
Like, she doesn't trust them either.
Yeah, it's like, and there's no reason for them to trust each other.
Like, they shouldn't be surprised that she, like, pieced.
Yeah. And, like, she shouldn't be surprised that they wanted to kill her.
They don't trust her,
yeah. Because it's like...
After what she did.
Yeah. 100%. It's like, neither of you are...
Yeah.
like, doing anything to gain this trust.
Exactly. Like, so it's tension, but it makes sense to me. So I really like the first half.
And it would be...
First part.
And, like... And I think I like the first part more than... Well, not that I did like it more than the other parts, but it was so good. And I think it would be unbelievable if they just blindly trusted her.
Yeah.
Like, why would you trust this girl?
You put the two least trusting people. Nesta trusts no one. Az is your
the spy master.
Is the spy master.
Yeah,
he trusts
no one.
Like it honestly makes so much sense for them to be the ones that are like sussing her out.
Yeah, I
they're
agree.
not gonna, like Cassian probably would trust her. Cassian would be like, what's a cell phone? Show me a phone.
Yeah,
he would love a phone.
What's this magic?
Cassian would love a cell phone.
You can take a picture? Oh my gosh, let me take a picture of my
You're
muscles.
magic.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're done with the first part.
Done with the first part.
Great. It was beautiful.
It was great.
And like we did say this when we were finishing the last one, we were like, we hope that she gets back to Midgard quickly, and she does.
She does.
It's like the first part.
Yeah. And the first part is like 100 and
it's not that
First part is
and it's mostly them in the first part.
Oh man. First part is 300 pages? Oh, I thought it was less than that. Shit.
Well, that's like less, that's a third almost.
That's true.
And most of it is them because like you get more of them back and forth.
Yeah.
So we are heading back to Midgard.
Head back to Midgard.
Oh, she steals a dagger before she leaves.
She does. She takes it with her.
She takes it with her.
She's like, it's mine now.
Sorry. Yeah, so we're bringing it back.
Yeah.
And she lands in dear old dad, the Autumn King's home.
Yeah.
And I thought it was an accident.
I thought it was too.
I believed it.
I did. I ate it up. I was like, oh no.
I was like, oh no. How did he do this?
Yeah, I was like, what kind of magic is he just like wielding over there?
Yeah. But you find out that the dad is actually, and I wrote that like, I don't trust them, but they have interests that align. Because you find out that the dad has been like researching like, Starborn people and like the planets or whatever. Because like, he kind of like, I can't remember if he knows or if he just like suspects, but he's like trying to find like where his people came from.
Yes.
Because he wants us to be more powerful in the us as a fae.
He's like
in the mid us.
But for him it's a power play.
Yeah, he wants to like find out how to be more powerful in the present world.
Yes.
But he knows what the Assyri are. Mm-hmm. And like the other parasites and horrible people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's not dumb.
Yeah. Okay, my next note is yes, fuck yes, Lydia.
Oh yeah, it is.
Is it? I say
before we get to that, somebody, we go to Ethan, and Ethan.
Yeah, I wrote poor Ethan, but I don't know why I wrote that.
So Ethan.
Is that him being depressed?
No, he goes to the House of Flame and Shadow.
That's right. He wants.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
So we get her going back, and then we kind of go to Ethan.
Mm-hmm.
And Ethan goes to the House of Flame and Shadow. He doesn't have
No, wait. Before that, though, he's supposed to go to the docks to get on the depth charger with his friends.
Oh, yeah.
And they all go there to get on the depth charger to, like, go help free Rune and them. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
And he runs away.
Yeah.
And he runs to the House of Flame and Shadow.
He runs to the House of Flame and Shadow. Because Lydia was like, we're rescuing them.
Yeah.
You have to be on the depth charger.
And they are ready.
At this time.
Yeah.
To come over to the capital city. And he does. He gets to the dock and he runs away.
Yeah. And, oh, that was sad.
Yeah.
But he gets to so he goes into the House of Flame and Shadow, which is like these big, ominous doors that go underground.
Yeah, it seems so creepy.
It does. And he finds Jezebel. Well, he's actually seeking out a necromancer. Because he wants to contact.
He feels so guilty. And I'm just like.
So guilty.
I'm like, dude, this girl.
He wants to contact Siggy to, like, apologize almost. Like, I don't know.
And to, like, bring her back, to resurrect her.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to make it right.
He wants to make it right. He still feels like she can be the alpha they need.
Yeah, he's like the Fender line.
Yeah.
He's like, this is the answer to Sabine. And he's still so convinced that this is an answer to Sabine. I'm like, it's you! Yeah! I'm like, can you just take a step back? He does not want to accept it.
He doesn't. I love him for it, but like, oh.
Yeah.
So, but he gets down there and like Jezebel saves him because like everyone was like eyeing him like.
Yeah.
Like he was a meal down there basically. Yeah. And I love her.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's great. She's so underplayed.
She's so underplayed.
But she's so clutch.
And it's so funny because I don't know how we're probably a little early on this, but he like agrees to work for her. She's like, I need a new assistant. And he's like,
she's like cataloging shit.
Yeah, she's like, I'll get you a necromancer if you help me. And he's like, alright, deal. But like,
it's so funny.
But like, he asks her these questions like, where'd you come from? And it's like Bryce just never happened to ask her these questions.
Were you never curious?
Because she answers so freely.
Oh yeah, she was like, I'm a priestess.
I'm 15,000 years old.
I was a human.
I stole the books for the city of Parthos.
Yeah.
And the Princess of the Pit.
Her being human was like, what? You were here at the beginning of it?
She was like, the Prince of the Pit essentially cursed me with like forever youth and magic.
Yeah. Because it's like you were human. How'd you get all this shit?
Yeah. So he like did, because like she was trying to get all the books out of the city before it got destroyed by the First War. Mm-hmm. And she's been stuck in this youthful body, which I don't imagine her as young anyways in my mind. So I don't know. But she's like 15,000 years. She tells him so casually that I'm just like, if Bryce had just asked you, like, you probably would have told her.
Yeah, there's like no never mind about it. It's like, oh yeah, by the way.
And he's like, okay.
The reason I have these books is because I was there.
I'm the one that brought them with me.
Yeah, I was in the original library.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And then she's like, I got a necromancer for you. It's Hypaxia.
Yes!
So, well, I'm a little ahead on that piece.
But then we go to, and that's when it's your Lydia notes probably, because then we go to them escaping.
We're escaping.
Yeah, we're escaping.
They're like ready to like, they're planning on killing Braxian or Rune.
Yes.
One of them.
He's like, if you don't give me your lightning, I'm killing one of them. And then he gives it to him. And he's like, I'm going to kill him anyway. He's like, you have to pick.
I was going to kill both of them, and now I'll just kill one.
Yeah. Hate Regulus.
Yeah.
So much.
She's the worst.
So they take his lightning.
And they're like bringing them all up somewhere to be tortured or something. And
they're taking them like to like somewhere out of their cell. And I think she convinces them to do that.
Lydia's been like pretending that she's got cramps.
Yes!
She's on her period.
Yeah. She's like, he can't touch me.
Poor thing.
He doesn't want to touch me.
Poor thing.
Okay, so and then they're taking them to like somewhere out of their cell to like torture them or something. Which is like, I think of her device, like she's done this. Mm-hmm. And they're like in an elevator and she's like, okay.
This is the plan.
This is the plan.
It's going into action.
Yeah.
Get ready.
You take left, right, da, da, da.
We have Declan and Flynn waiting in a van for you guys.
Yes, they are waiting. And we have to get in this, and we have basically like X amount of minutes before.
She like made sure that their wings, Braxian and Athlar's wings,
she convinced them to give them like a healing potion,
so they could like chop them off again.
She's like, I want to chop them off
again. But they're still like a little weak.
Yeah,
they're still a little weak.
So this starts to happen, like, immediately.
It's, like, it's happening so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
And so she's like, yeah, we get out of this elevator, we're doing this, and then we're going to be in a van.
Got it, good.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
And so they, like, get to the van, and they're in there, and it's, like, basically the alarm hasn't sounded yet.
Yeah.
They don't know anything's amiss yet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, but when they're in the van, this is, like, a note I had. I was like, Declan said over the radio, let me talk to him.
I love their friendship.
Oh my gosh. And then it was like a room at Lydia's eyes, and she's seen the radio, and then he was just like crying. I was like, oh my god. I was like, this is so sweet. It was so sweet.
I love friendship.
Yeah. But that whole escape was a hot mess.
Oh, it was a
hot mess.
Yeah.
It was just like, and then the sprites had the distraction.
Yeah. I said, Team Lydia, badass, thank you, Fire Queen.
Right? Yes!
So she, from Lelaba, whatever her name is, you know that, like, these sprites had a queen, and they've been, like, kind of, they become slaves as soon as they're born. So every time a new queen is born, you're immediately a slave. And we find out while Lydia is doing her torture stuff that a sprite queen is a mystic. Like, she's in, like,
she's in the mist. She's down there with the mystics. She's, like, not in a tank, but she's, like, in an orb.
Yeah, and so she's
like,
captive. Can I borrow her to torture this other girl?
Yeah.
And they're like, sure. And so she, like, has, like, an interaction, and, like, it doesn't go great.
She has her burn her.
But the first interaction doesn't go great. And then she's, like, comes back and is like, this is why, like, I need you to, like, make it, like, you gotta sell it. And she's like, I'm gonna free you, you're gonna sell it, and then, like, get out of here.
And even when she goes to the Viper Queen, like, before, and sees them, and she asks the sprites, like, can I trust her? Like, what kind of queen was she?
Yeah, and they don't actually know her.
Yeah, but they're like, from what we hear, she's great.
Yeah. And I love the sprites.
Oh, I do too. They're so cute.
They're so cute.
But yeah, the escape is a hot mess. They're, like, getting out, and then
something unexpected happens.
The bloodhound, they're like
Mordek.
They're tracking them, and they get out of the city.
They do. They get past the walls.
They get past the wall. They get out of the city, and they're like in this, like, what I assume is a Jeep. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a van.
I'm imagining like a white van.
A white van.
Like creepy.
I think they like skirt like the top of something, and it like takes part of the top off or something like that. And then, but they're like in the wilderness.
But they have to split.
Yes.
Because she goes off.
She's like,
goes off.
Because she didn't expect them, I don't think, to, like, be on their trail as hot.
Yeah.
And she's like, they want me now. Because at this point...
I'm a betrayer.
They want me.
Yeah.
More than want you right now.
Yeah.
And so, they split. And they're going to the ocean.
She becomes
like,
her stag.
Get to the depth charger.
Yeah.
Yeah. She gets into her, like, deer stag form.
Yeah.
And she starts to sprint. And then Rune's like, Lydia! I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god, that stressed me out so much.
Yeah.
When I literally wrote, no, please don't tell me she's dead. I'm crying.
Mine is like, my heart is breaking for Lydia.
I thought she was dead.
I thought she was
dead, and I was like,
are you kidding me?
I was ready to fight someone.
Yeah. Mine says she better not be dead.
She better not be dead.
Yeah.
So, spoiler, she's not dead. She's very badly broken.
Yes.
But when they get on the depth charger, they send Therian out there, and he brings like a rush of weight. So she jumps off a cliff because she'd rather be dead than take it, which fair.
I
would rather be dead than take it.
She knows what they do when they're taken.
She's the one that does it.
She does the doing.
So she's like, I'd rather be dead. So she jumps, and like the water finds her, and it like crushes her, but she's still technically alive. And like
Therian gets her.
They bring her onto the depth charger, and they're like healing her.
Yeah, because now they've made it to the depth charger.
They feel safe. I feel safe.
Yes, I'm like, they made it.
I said, she's not out of the woods, but I would have been so upset if she'd been dead, so.
Oh, yeah. And then we get on, hold on, make sure we're
not. Right before that, because I have a note in between the other thing, I said, LOL stuck at Autumn King, so we must have, like, trapped him in the closet by then.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
So we find out, we go back to the Autumn King, and she's like,
she gets information from him. She's, like, probing him.
She is. And she, like, he has her in these, like, the Gorzian class things where she can't, like, escape. Mm-hmm. But she finds a key in Rune's.
Because he hated his father.
Because Rune was, like, abused by him. Like, she was abused.
And he, like, found a way to get out of the
Gorzian
constraints
shackles
that he used to put her in.
Yeah, so she uses those. And she basically flips it on him and locks him in a closet. And she's like, I not went out here. I teleported here on purpose.
Yes, which I was surprised at. which I was very thankful for.
I am too. And, like, impressed also.
Oh,
but she, like, basically was trying to, like, figure out the whole Avalon thing, right? Like, where she needs to go next.
Like, where...
Like, what do you about the Star Sword?
Where she can find information about how the sword and the dagger...
And how she could possibly use them
help
against the Asteria.
Like, how do I unite these things?
Because she really can't trust her dad, because her dad, like, doesn't like the Asteria. Like, he's self-interest of the Fae, but he also would 100% turn her into the Asteria.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, he's holding on his son. He's, like, disowned him.
Exactly.
He's like, he's not my son. Keep him in your dungeon. Exactly. I don't care. Yeah.
So she leaves him there. And then my next note is, what the fuck, sons, don't love that.
Sons, what the
Literally!
There it is. Oh my gosh. I was not expecting that.
I don't like it. I'm sorry. You know I hate a pregnancy trope, but this is just as bad in my opinion.
I literally was not, I was taken aback. I was like, what?
My twin sons?
It was so... Out of left field.
It was not out of character, like out of left field, yeah.
It was so out of left field. I was like, it was a hard pill to swallow.
Because, like,
it was so random.
And, like, it makes so much more sense. So later they explain that she's, like, a powerful shifter.
Yeah.
And, like, it was a breeding
and how the sons
thing.
came to be, yeah.
And, like, she breeded with a powerful shifter, and, like, that was the whole,
but they
like,
weren't
purpose.
Pollux' sons.
Thank God.
Oh, my
like,
gosh. Because that's the first thought I had. I was like, oh, my God.
They're horrible people.
Yeah.
But, like, they're happy with, like, this lovely gay couple.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And, like,
in the Depth Charger.
They don't want to. They don't want to see their mom. They're like, they do not like her.
No.
They found out who she is, and they're like, this. Like, one's a little bit more quiet, and he's a kind of more of a dick.
Yeah.
And the louder one's a lot nicer.
Yeah.
But didn't love that. And, like, Rune's, like, reeling. He's, like, following her. She wakes up, so they heal her. She wakes up, and she immediately
She's
goes
like, where are
to
my
her
sons? Yeah.
And he's like, what? And he just, like, follows her. And he's like, oh.
Yeah.
And she, like, passes out, I think.
Yeah. She does. She passes out. Man, I was like, what? I was not expecting that at all.
I wasn't.
I'm not a huge
super happy about it.
Yeah, I'm not like after
they needed a reason, like, you know, like Braxton had a reason to defect. They needed a reason for her to defect.
Catalyst. They had to have a catalyst,
and so it makes sense.
Yeah,
I get that.
It was just so I don't know. It was just
yeah.
And I don't know if it was because it was like because they're older too. I'm like, you've been doing this for this long. I'm just kind of like, what is going on? Like, what?
Yeah,
they're not even just like babies.
And you haven't seen them in like 13 years, I think, right?
Yeah, something like that.
They're like teenagers.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
Yeah. But then Bryce shows up.
Yeah.
Because the Ocean Queen shows up first. Sorry. The Ocean Queen shows up and she's like...
I don't like her.
She's like, what are these people doing on my ship?
Yeah.
What is happening?
Darian, you're like a fugitive, essentially.
You're a fugitive. The Highness is, like, she's supposed to be undercover and she just broke her cover.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just, like, pissed and she's, like, ready to, like, throw her down, and then Bryce just, like, walks in.
Yeah.
She's like, what's up? Because she was, like, she did her little, like, winnowing thing and she was basically, like, Hunt's my mate. And, like, I can just, like, I look for him.
I go to him.
And I can find him.
Yeah, that's sweet.
So, because, like, that's what she learned from, like, Thea and Adius.
Yeah, it's like, there's
space and time.
a bond.
Oh, it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, she shows up. She's a boss. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then she comes, and that's, like, she comes after the River Queen, or the Ocean Queen, is, like, talking about Therian, like, giving him up. And she's like, Bryce Quinlan swept through the doorway and winked at the Ocean Queen. Therian serves me. I'm like, yeah, he does!
I mean, like, he sucks, but yes, he's yours.
Therian in this whole book annoyed me so much.
You little bitch.
Yeah, the decisions he made were just...
He's like not thinking. He's not using his brain.
No! And it was so annoying. I saw this...
Never using his brain.
I saw... this, and I wish I had, like, bookmarked it, but I saw this, like, reel or meme or something about, because I very, like, proactively avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
But this one, it wasn't, like, it was vague.
Yeah.
It was just, like, me in the third book, anytime Therian and Ethan make a decision, and it was just like, and I was like, and then reading this book, I'm like, yeah.
But you know what? They're men, so it makes sense.
It's just, every time, I was just like, oh my gosh, what are you guys doing?
Why? Just why?
It was just like, why? Oh, it was so annoying. But yeah, so she comes back. I was so glad, because I was fearful that it would take the entire book.
for the reunite. And, like,
Yes.
and you see, like, Hunt's just, like, trying, like, not to react too much, but he's, like, so happy to see her.
Yeah, I really did. I thought
and, like, Rune's not even in there.
No, yeah.
He's, like, with, I think, Lydia.
Yeah.
But, like, Bryce really doesn't, like, have a plan, I feel like. She just, like, showed up.
Yeah.
And claimed everything.
My next note is, because, you know, like, the Rune's whole thing where he, like, told his dad the wrong oracle.
Yeah.
Where, like, the royal line ended. And I was like, the royal line ended because he's going to be a stepdaddy.
I don't have my own kids anymore. Oh my god.
He's just going to be a stepdad.
Stop. Yeah, my last note was like, great, now it's Lydia's turn to be mad at Rune.
Oh yeah, she was pissed.
She was.
She's like, oh no, because, like, now I fit into, like, a, like, damsel kind of narrative because I have kids. I'm like, good for you, girl.
Yeah. So, we are on the depth charger, and so, Bryce doesn't really have a plan.
No.
She's kind of like, let's go to Avalon, because my dad said that last, so, like, all the Star Sword stuff is there.
And she's, like, asking the queen, the Ocean Queen, to, can you take us there?
And she's kind of like, yes, but Therian stays.
Yeah, Therian stays.
But does he?
And then,
Oh, I think
oh, my next thing, because, like, while this is going on, well, let's see.
I'm at Avalon now, so yeah, what do you have?
I have something where I think that, Therian, because he just had, like, so much, like, self-doubt and stuff, and just, like, remorse on, I mean, he did make dumb decisions, but he was, like, always just, like, he knew it after the fact. He was like, why did I fucking do this? And why did I cause all this trouble for my friends? And I definitely think that Therian might sacrifice himself in some way if it comes to it.
Oh, I think he would.
Yeah.
I think he would.
And then, my next note, I think I, like, go a little bit. Then I go back to Crescent City where Hypaxia comes. And she's, like, been thrown to the curb.
And, like, they alluded to that in the last book.
Yeah, she was like, they don't like me.
They don't like me. Because she was, like, raised basically alone with, like, ghosts.
I'm like, that's on your mom.
Yeah, your mom sucks.
Your mom, like, kept you from these people.
I know.
They didn't grow up knowing you.
No.
Like, you didn't grow up knowing them.
Yeah, and her and Celestina broke up. So, yeah, so she got ousted as the Witch Queen. So she, like, defects to Flame and Shadow, just like Jezebel, honestly. And it's like, hi, I'm here. And she has to, like, go, like, do her things. But
take her
Jezebel's
oaths.
like,
so creepy.
This is the necromancer I got you. And he's like,
hey,
I know her. We've tried this before, but okay.
Yeah.
So she's like, I gotta do my oath, spell come back.
Yeah. That's my next note was, oh no, it went up. Oh yeah, it was just poor Hypaxia.
Yeah, I do feel bad for her. So she's smart, she's capable, but, like, they're not ready for her, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, and then, so they're, my next note is them, so they get to where the Ocean Queen agrees to, like, take them to the Avalon. I say that, and that's, like, a place.
That's probably not how you pronounce it, that's what I think of.
In Atlanta.
Yeah.
And it's, like,
the Avalon.
Yeah, that's what I, like, so that's how I pronounce it, too. So she takes them there, and my next note is, like, Lydia, like, saying goodbye to her sons and giving them that, like, heirloom.
Oh.
And she's like, you can sell it if you want, or you can keep it.
Like, one of them, like, actually was like, bye, good luck. Then everyone's like, you're dead to me.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, she can't tell us anything about where she's going. She's like, yeah, I can't.
You're right.
Yeah. And then, so Hypaxia is back at, is like, and then we learned that Jezebel is, like, the second in command.
Oh, yeah, the Flame and Shadow.
Yeah, it's like, how'd you, like, what?
And she's been around for so long.
Yeah, she's like, I climbed those ranks.
Yeah.
And then, one of the most annoying parts, I was just like, what are you doing?
The top part.
Yes!
LOL. Oh, Therian jumping off the boat. Therian's like, he's supposed to be a prisoner on the depth charger for the Ocean Queen.
Yeah, she's like, until I decide what to do with you. You're staying here.
Yeah, under my watch. They get through the mist of the Avalon because, like, Bryce is a Star Queen and she's, like, open sea.
It, like, opened, yeah.
And so they're all off and then they're like, bye. And then Therion's like, jump.
Literally jumps on the boat. And that girl, I can't remember her name.
The captain lady?
Yeah, she's like, you know what she's gonna do to you.
She's gonna kill you.
Yeah.
He's like,
bye. Oh, I was like, what? Oh.
Yeah. And then we're meeting the King of Avalon.
Meet the King of Avalon.
And I wrote, man, this guy might be worse than the Autumn King.
Oh, he sucks.
IDK, he can suck it.
Yeah, he sucks. And his little, was it his sons? The two little...
Yeah, they have sons too, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they can, like, they can break into your mind.
Yeah. I didn't like
speak
them.
into it.
And
I
then...
think of them as, like, the guys from, like, the two dunces from Alice in Wonderland. Like, that's what I'm imagining.
It's fair. I mean, I see that. And so, not too long after they get there, he brings out Flynn's sister.
I know. Cause so the Fae are worried about being in in the wars that are like kind of like coming.
Yeah.
So like a lot of them are coming to Avalon because there's this thing where they're like there's these mists around Avalon and the Assyria are afraid and can't cross.
They can't cross it.
They can't cross. So you're kind of like safe in Avalon.
Yeah. Oh.
So like a lot of these like more like high lord noble-y people are coming from the Fae to Avalon.
And that's what Flynn's parents are like. No, they're like high up and noble, and they're there. And he brings out his sister
because his sister, like the women there aren't allowed to be alone. He's like, if a woman comes here, she needs to be betrothed immediately or married immediately,
or like under the whatever of her father. But her father has like cast her.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm not taking responsibility for her essentially. But I was literally like, what does she have to do with any of this? It was so random. I was like, what is this? And then
he didn't really like his sister. Flynn didn't.
No, he's like, what?
He's like, leave her.
And then he like talks about all the stuff like where like, oh, she can't be left alone here, and she's like, gonna marry one of my goons.
Yeah. Because they're trying to like procreate with the Fae.
Yes.
And like build their
build a lineage. Yeah. And then Therion is like, I'll marry her.
Out of nowhere.
Literally.
Out of nowhere.
It wasn't that long after he jumped on the boat, and then he's like, I'll marry her. And I was like, what is going on?
Like, what is wrong with you? Like, you don't know what you're doing.
I was like, can you not keep your mouth shut for like 2 seconds?
I literally wrote, help your sister out, man, for like Flynn. And then I would go, LL, oh, there. Like, what?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, and then it was like not 5 minutes later, Therion found himself with a wife. It wasn't that he didn't just get engaged with her; he married her right then.
They like,
and I was like,
they don't waste time.
I was like, what the actual fuck?
No.
I was like, what? I didn't. I was like, I don't understand.
And like, Flynn's kind of like she's a spoiled brat. Like, why are we doing this?
That's the thing. Is like she kind of like gets mentioned. I guess that he has siblings, but I'm like, this is the first time I've heard her name.
Yeah, I don't remember her name.
Yeah. Her name was. Oh shoot. Hold on. Her name was. Crap, what was her? Sathia.
Sathia.
Yeah, what was her name? And then they're married.
Okay, so I wrote this. The islands are disappearing because they like find this map where like, the islands, like all the islands are gone. Mm-hmm. And I say something is for sure hiding on Avalon, sucking things dry like the prison.
Yes,
because it's very much like a mirror image of what was happening in Prythian on the prison. Mm-hmm. So I was like ready for this.
Yeah, I agree. My next note was they go back to the Crescent City with like Ethan and Jezebel and Hypaxia. And Hypaxia is like thinks that she can undo Siggy being a Reaper.
Oh yeah, so we actually missed that part.
Oh yeah,
so
she became Reaper.
She called.
Tried to necromancy her.
She tried to necromancy her like she wanted to, but then the Under King shows up and she becomes a Reaper. And a Reaper is just like I guess a normal soul that like essentially will live forever and like they suck other souls out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they think that.
So he wants to like save her from being a Reaper.
Yeah, and he thinks that Hunt's lightning might help or
resurrect her actual body.
Yeah, and pull the soul back towards life. and give like her a chance. And my note is literally just like, this shit is so messy. I was like,
it is.
It's like, why are Theron and Ethan the way they are? Because they're just like so
self-sacrificing.
Yes, and like also so like fixated.
Mm-hmm.
Because like in that, I can't remember if it was the first or second book. I think it was the second book when Ethan was just like so concentrated on his brother. And I'm like, there's a bigger picture here, bruh.
I can understand Ethan more because like he was a younger sibling that like felt like he
had unfinished business.
Yes,
Theron's just like
well, okay, his sister did die too though.
Yeah.
Oh, they both have.
Maybe it's
maybe it's like a sibling death thing.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
But they both. I'm just like, wow, are you the way that you
I
are?
want to shake both of them.
Yes, I'm just like, there are other things going on, and like this is important, but also there's like
Ethan has no idea though that like Rune and them are all like he's just like
he's in another place.
Yeah. One of my next notes are we back in the okay. One of my next notes is Hunt and Bryce are being made to share powers. Who the F is Hunt's dad? And then I was like, is it like it's just like they keep talking about it.
They keep talking about it. They talked about it for 3 books.
Talking about it.
And I'm just like, can we get to this? And they still don't get to it.
No, it's like it's like part 3, I think.
It's like part 3. Yeah. And it's very annoying.
But then, we're in Avalon.
We're in Avalon.
And the plan is for them to, number 1, look at the archives in Avalon to try and see if there's any information about, like, the Star Sword, the Star...
Which no women are allowed in. And Bryce is like, sorry, but we're going in.
And then the other half of the crew, Team Caves... is going to the caves. Oh, is going to the caves... And they're looking to see if they can find, like, any information in the caves about the Star Sword. Because, like, that's where Rune got the Star Sword.
Yes. So, like, there might be paintings on the wall. There's clues. Yeah.
But this actually takes me really quick to the fact that Bryce and Hunt are, like, not doing well.
They're, like, at odds.
And this is, like, the one main issue I did have with the book.
Main issue.
Is, like, this... weird tension that they tried to create where he was like, I don't want us to be doing this, you're not telling me your plans, but like that wasn't really happening.
No, literally
it was the weirdest thing.
Literally my next note is Rune like says something and she's like, and he's like, I can't believe you actually told us what you were thinking for once.
For what? I'm like,
and my note is like, I feel like she always tells them
she does. That's like, they like try to turn her into someone else.
They did! They tried to turn her into Aelin. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Anyway.
But she does, in like the first and second book, the only thing that she keeps secret is the kid.
The kid.
And that's it.
And she does eventually tell them. Tell Hunt.
But like, and even this, I remember vividly in the second book where like, if anything happened, she would be like, I need to call Rune.
Yes.
And I love that so much.
Exactly.
Because I was like, oh my gosh, they're just like working so cohesively together. And she was telling
Hunt things too.
Yeah.
And like,
I feel like it was very out of character for them to, and they called it out in the second part.
Yeah,
they called it out so much. And then so it was like her being like, I'm not telling you anything. And then she was like, oh, you're not all with me.
Yes, that. She was like, you can't just want this for me. And I'm like, why can't he?
Exactly.
Why can that not be his main desire?
He's been in this prison twice.
He doesn't want to see you suffer.
He knows what the consequences are. Literally.
And like, it wouldn't kill him, but if he saw you get hurt, that would kill him.
Like, her being like, well, I need all of you. But I'm like, he's still gonna, my thing is like, he's still gonna help you till the end of the earth.
Yes.
You're his mate.
Yes.
Point blank.
Yes.
He's gonna, whatever you need.
He's there.
He's there. He's gonna say yes.
Yes.
Whatever you need. Yes.
But you can't be mad about his reasons for saying yes.
You can't, yeah, exactly. And you can't be mad that he's still, like, worried that y'all all gonna get killed.
And that he would prefer
you not get killed.
You not get killed.
That was my main pain point with this book. I was like, what are they both doing?
It wasn't them.
It wasn't.
I'm sorry, it was not them.
It wasn't.
That was my one big issue.
I was like, what? Like, where do these people come from?
And it's so funny because in my heart I was like, I know this is not them. And so I know we're fine.
You almost like, I'll ignore it.
Yeah, I genuinely ignored it.
I was like, there's not a problem.
I was like, this is not them.
Yeah.
This is not a problem.
No.
We're fine. We're fine.
It was weird.
Yes.
I didn't, yes. That was my main pain point with this book, was that. And I was like, she tells them everything.
Yeah. She trusts him.
Yes, because
they're a partnership.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It was like unnecessary conflict, honestly.
Yeah, it really was. I did not.
So anyway, so they're Team Caves, but like while they're in the caves, Rune and Flynn and Deck and Lydia are in the library, and I will talk about that. So like they're in the library trying to like find things. So this is where we get some tension between Rune and Lydia. And they're like...
She's still mad because she's like...
She's mad.
Yeah.
And, like, he was mad, now she's mad, and now we're like... Now he's like, oh, but I do love her.
Yeah.
And so I Rune and Lydia are trying to kill me. Because they're, like, having, like, this, like, tension. And they're, like, in the library, and he's, like, looking at her, and he's not looking at her.
Yeah.
He's looking at her, he's not looking. And, like, they have, like, this moment where they're, like... They kiss. Actually, I think they do kiss, don't they?
I think they do.
Yeah. But she's like, we're not going to bed together. And he's like, no, it's fine, it's fine. And this whole time this is happening, I wrote, why is nobody concerned that Deck and Flynn are missing?
He, like, thinks about it. He literally thinks about it, and then he doesn't think about it again.
He does not care.
Yeah.
He does not care.
He's so focused on her. And he literally thinks about it, and then he's like, they're probably fine.
He's like, they're probably eating dinner or something. And I'm like...
Yeah.
They're clearly not fine.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I wrote for this chapter said is shit, Autumn Kings is not looking good. Because they are going through the caves and they're doing great. Everything's going fine. And then out of nowhere, the Autumn King shows up and the Avalon King. And these two little goons. Yeah.
And then before that, though... like,
what did I miss?
No. It's just something small. It's just like a quote that
oh, share a quote. We love a good quote.
So it was like when... Bryce is, like, again complaining about the Fae, about how they're just, like...
horrible people.
And she just, like, generalizes them. She's like, the Fae are awful.
Yeah.
Like, they... Back when the hell people... Like, the hell demons came through, they just locked themselves in the thing. And Sathia's like... Some of us had no choice but to be locked in our villas. My parents forbade me. And then, like, Bryce interrupts her, and she's like, I never let something being forbidden stop me from doing it. And I literally made a note, and I was like, some people don't have that choice, Bryce. I'm like, some people don't have the luxury.
Yeah.
I'm like, she's young.
That's a privilege.
She's, like, she's still young.
Yeah.
She doesn't know any better. And that's the thing, like, where I feel like it took...
And they're your parents.
Yes. I'm like, like, a lot of the book, Bryce is just generalizing the Fae.
Yeah.
I'm like, they raised them.
And that's, like,
what do you expect them to know?
I think that's why she exists as a character in this book.
Yeah.
To, like, show that.
Yes.
So, like,
because she was literally like, I didn't have a choice. I literally didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Like, I was swept up.
Yeah.
And locked in these villas. Like, what did you want me to do?
Exactly.
And she was like, well, I never let something that's forbidden, whatever. And that's why I didn't like... Some of the stuff they wrote for her for this book, I was so annoyed.
It made no sense.
I was just like, she would be more understanding.
Because Bryce is a girl's girl. It makes no sense.
I was like, she would be way more understanding.
Yeah.
It made me annoyed. Yeah.
She was on one.
She was on one. I was just like, get off your high horse. Please.
God.
And then she said something about, like, she's like, while she's talking to her, she's like, whatever, if they want to preserve the long fucked up line of Fae tyrants, that was on them. And I'm like, that is...
Bryce said that?
Yeah. It was one of her, like, inner thoughts. I'm like, yo, they can't...
But you know what else about Bryce, though?
They can't help it.
Is multiple times she's been like, I don't want to be queen. I don't want to be in charge. And I'm like, you can complain about this shit.
Yeah.
The only way to fix it is to be in charge.
Yeah.
So, like, shut your mouth if you're not willing to, like, step up and like,
do something about it. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so hypocritical.
They harped on it so much in this book.
They did. They, like, kept repeating those things.
It was so annoying. It was so annoying.
I could leave that.
Yeah. I could have let that out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So the Autumn King comes.
So Autumn King comes, and I go, well, I was right about Deck and Flynn.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were captured.
They're captured.
And they were brought down there, which is weird that they captured them and not, like, they, like, left Rune and Lydia.
Yeah.
But, like, whatever. So they were, like, threatening them.
My thing, when it says, like, the Autumn King strode in, I was like, I need the Autumn King to die.
You get your wish.
I was just like, I just need him to die.
Yes.
Oh man.
So they show up, and I wrote, I feel like she learned this cave-in trick from Nesta. So she, like, makes a cave-in happen.
Yeah.
And it, like, divides them from her little crew, which they do leave.
They leave Flynn and Deck! They leave him! Oh gosh. No, they leave him!
No, I was really surprised she did that, because I was like, that's not really, like... selfless queen of you.
No. She left them. I was like,
So
oh my
they
god,
can
I
take
think
care of themselves.
I was like, I'm pretty sure they're still on the other side of those
And
rocks.
I think that her thought process, she was like, they wouldn't kill 2 Fae males.
Because they need them
because they need them for breeding.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're betting on that, but okay.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. All while this is happening,
Yeah.
Rune is with Lydia.
Yes.
And they're trying to get it on.
I know, it's so happy for Lydia and Rune.
Yeah.
And they do get it on.
Well,
they kind of do.
They initiate it, and they're kind of like on the same page now.
Yeah. They admit that they care for each other.
Yes. But then, he does something and she flinches. And He's like, I'm gonna rip that guy from head to toe.
He grabs her arms and puts them above her head, which
Yeah.
is cute.
Yeah.
But not
And
when you've been abused.
Yeah, no, she's not. I was literally like, poor Lydia.
But she later was like, no, it's fine. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I don't want to think about him.
Yeah, it's just it's like
my body reacting.
My body reacting.
Lydia. But I love them so much.
I know. I was
together.
like, poor Lydia, because he's like, I'll kill him, and I'm like,
kill him. Rune would kill him.
Yeah, fucking. Oh.
So literally, we were going back to this. I don't really. So the cave-in happens, and she's like, "Let's get in the water." And Hunt's pissed, and I'm like, I don't really understand why Hunt is upset. She didn't tell him her last-minute plans. He was mad that she didn't tell him that she was about to do the cave-in. And I was like,
yeah.
She just did it. Just decided.
Like that, I get.
Why are you mad?
That I get.
Why are you mad?
Yeah, that I understand. Like, why are you mad? Because it's like, this is a last-minute plan.
Yeah.
I was like, she didn't pre-plan this.
She
didn't know he was coming.
I wrote, I don't like when mom and dad fight.
Right. That was his whole second part of his book.
Fighting.
Unnecessarily.
So frustrating.
It was very frustrating.
It was so frustrating.
I don't always need conflict from the heroine and hero.
Yeah,
PSA to all the authors out there. I can get conflict other places.
I get to the fact that there might need to be conflict in romance relationships, but we have that with Lydia and Brune, I feel like.
Absolutely.
I'm satisfied there.
Yeah, we've had conflicts with them in previous books.
And you can honestly you can give me Hunt and Bryce being upset about the I've been to war, I've seen I'm afraid for you.
Yeah.
That part made more sense to me than the whole you're not telling me what you're doing.
Yeah.
And her being I want you to want this outside of me.
Yeah.
I didn't like either of those.
Yeah.
So then they follow the whole
my next 3 notes about Bryce.
Is
good.
I was gonna say we're getting to the tomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine are she needs to come off of it.
Yes.
Now she's just pissing me off.
We're on this. Yeah, that's our same.
And I'm like, I honestly at one point I was like, I thought power was gonna drive her a little mad.
Oh, Daenerys.
Yeah, I did.
Targaryen, sorry.
Because she the thing that it was she looked up from the carved rendering and there was nothing of her human heart in those eyes, only icy fake hatred for the long dead male before her.
Well, Rune likens her to the Autumn King time and time again. A lot. So I was really nervous every time that popped up.
Yeah, I agree.
It ended up being fine in the end, but it did make me very nervous.
Yeah.
Very nervous.
Yeah.
But I think that at that point we follow the trail down, we see more paintings, and then we actually do make it to the tomb. What's the guy's name?
Is he where he's...
The other Starborn man.
Oh.
It's their other ancestor.
Yeah.
He married...
God, I can't even think of his name.
Well, we found out he actually, raped, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But he married Thea's the daughter that stayed in this Crescent City in Midgard. And, that's who they're descended from. And, this was his tomb. And that's, where the Star Sword was found. But we find out from...
It's a front.
It's a front. She chose this place that had the mist around it. It was a thin place.
Yeah.
She chose it. And, kind of tricked him with his ego into, wanting to build his tomb there.
So they were no one's ever going to touch this.
Yeah.
She was right.
Well, she was right.
She was right.
They, treated it as, sacred.
Yeah.
And so underneath his tomb, she built in, she put her power in there too? Or just the little water thing?
I think the water thing.
So there's this tunnel underground, so she kind of remembers her sister doing it, so she there must be something underneath here. So she figures out there's something underneath, and they have these little steps that go down, and they find this room underneath the tomb, and there's this obsidian salt that we know from the first book summons the demons of hell.
Yes.
And there's a basin for you to drink from.
Yeah.
And she's like putting 2 and 2 together, and she's like, you must be able to communicate with hell somehow down here. And I'm like, all right, good for you. You figured that out. So she goes to drink it, and again, you're like, Hunt and Bryce fighting, but he knocks the cup from her. You want to say this?
I don't know. You go ahead.
He knocks the cup from her hand.
Yeah.
And you think that he's like, don't do it, but he's like, I'm going with you.
He's like, you're not doing it without me.
Yeah.
I was like, she needs to stop being a little shit. He still wants to help.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Finally, yeah.
Yes, that's the thing is like, I think in her whole, the way that they write her in that second part is she's so annoyed with him because he has these hesitations.
He's like not in it with her.
Yeah, but I'm like, he is.
He is.
He literally just knocked this out of your hand. He wants to go to the ends of the earth with you.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that he can't still be like, I'm afraid we're going to die.
Yeah, because he loves you.
Those aren't mutually exclusive.
Exactly.
That's what annoyed me this whole book. I was like, these are not mutually exclusive. Get off of it.
Exactly.
Y'all, it was so annoying.
It was so annoying.
Yeah.
But I think they kind of take a turn here. It gets better here.
Yes, because he's like, I think he proves to her with actions, like, I am still in this.
Yes.
I'm like, you should have known that.
You should, without this.
Yeah, without this.
Without this.
Which annoyed me. Which annoyed me so much.
So mad.
Ugh. Yeah.
So, she does. They both drink the water, and we are basically astral projecting, I would say, into hell.
Yeah. 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 And then they go to Adius.
We learn things.
Yeah, and he's like, Adius shows up to them. He's like, welcome to hell. I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
My first note here is Hunt's dad is the prince of the pit.
Oh, yeah.
What? But what?
It was weird. The way they described it was so weird. Was that it wasn't like...
I'm not really understanding the mechanics of his lineage.
It was like...
It's not just him, it's the other...
Yes.
So it's like, they didn't
But
father...
his mom's... Yeah, they didn't father him.
They didn't father him, they created him.
It's like they made him and put him in his mom.
Yeah, immaculate conception, but with...
Yeah.
Whatever the hell Hunt is.
That's what it felt like.
And they also admitted that they created Thunderbirds.
So he's basically a Thunderbird.
Okay, so let me get back to this. So in our Crescent City 2...
Oh, yeah, predictions.
We both said that we thought that Hunt's parent was a Thunderbird.
Yeah.
And we also said that we thought it was the Prince of the Pit.
Oh, we're both right.
I just want to say, we
Killing
nailed
it.
that. We actually got that right.
Killing it.
We actually got that right.
Nice.
But also, what?
It was weird. The way they described it was so weird.
I still don't really understand.
No, it was just they made him, but because when at first
they were saying they made creatures and things like that.
Yeah, I was like, is this about to be a situation where they just put him on their doorstep?
But it wasn't. The mother still birthed him.
Yeah, which was weird.
And even weirder, they were like, we made you for Bryce.
Yeah, that was weird.
And she didn't exist yet.
Yeah,
he's older than her.
And they were worried, wait, is this all just been for nothing? Was this all just?
They were hoping she would come, but they were in case she, whatever happened didn't happen, they wanted someone to be able to power her up, and that's, why he's a battery for her.
Yeah. And then I feel like they got worried, oh my gosh, is none of this real?
They did, and they didn't, harp on that for too long.
But they were it wasn't anything that y'all were going to be, together. It was just,
they were
you were there
did you make us mates? And they were like, no, that was your own doing, you
absolutely
weirdos.
Not. Yeah. They're like, we just made it so he could power you up.
Yeah.
There was no, romantic thought in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was, yeah. It was wild.
So they learn about that. They learn about, what? They learn about the, black hole stuff. So Adius kind of, talks about, Thea and, how the swords coming together do create, this pocket of black hole, but she was so afraid that it would destroy everything.
It would take everything in.
That she didn't want to do it. And, before they leave, Adius is like, choose yourselves over that.
He's live your life.
And, I love him. He's the best.
He is such a, underrated character
he is.
in this whole series.
He is.
He's, not in it a ton, but when he is, I'm like, oh, you're substantial.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, she understands that, she can bring those together to make that happen. And we also know that the Prince of the Pit that did destroy One series is also, a black hole, which I didn't really fully understand that either.
Oh, yeah.
But they're open the doors, open the, gates up in the rift, and we'll come through and we'll help you. And she's like, you didn't last time. And she was like, we will, we promise. Yeah. We're like, okay. Mm-hmm. So they get sucked back out because they're, being woken up.
Yes.
By the Autumn King.
And during this, Rune realizes that they're taken. And one of my notes...
Oh, yeah, they finally figured it out.
They're, like, going into the caves. And at one point, they're kind of, like, getting hot and heavy in the caves. And, yeah. And I was like... And literally my note is, we don't have time for this.
We don't have time for this.
We don't have time for this. Do this later.
People are dying.
People are dying.
Rude people are dying.
People are dying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she wakes up to, like, all the bad guys and her friends in, like, a little fire cage.
Yes.
And they're basically, like, threatening them, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And they're, like, ready to kill.
Yes. One of my things... Yeah, so they're ready to kill them. And then I think Rune and them finally get to them.
So she's about to die, yeah. So, like, they're about to, like, kill her.
Yeah.
And then, out of nowhere, Rune saves the day.
Mm-hmm.
Rune saves the day.
Rune does save the day. Like, good for you, Rune.
And I wrote that I was, like, so glad that it was... So, Rune kills his dad. And I wrote that I was so glad that it was Rune to kill him.
He needed to kill him.
Because, like, as much as Bryce hated the Autumn King, Rune was tortured by him.
He had the brunt of it.
By him
he had the brunt of it.
His entire life.
Like, she got kind of, like, secondhand.
But she got to leave.
Yeah, exactly. She, like, felt...
She was raised...
She felt, like, the abandonment, but she didn't, like, get that first hand.
She got raised by her mom and Randall.
Yeah.
And he didn't.
No. Yeah, I'm very glad that he got that killing blow.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I wrote, get fucked. I'm your motherfucking executioner. Because one of them thought that or said that. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So glad that Rune got the killing blow.
Yes, he shows up, he saves the day, he kills the Autumn King.
Kills his dad.
And again, like, we're kind of like, I don't really trust when anyone's dead because I don't know what an actual killing blow is.
Yeah.
But they make it pretty clear that he's, like, dead.
Yeah. And in the midst of this, like, I, like, highlighted one part where, Bryce is, like, coming to the realization that the Fae of Midgard were capable of more. Rune proved it, Flynn and Deck proved it, even Sathia proved it in the short time that Bryce didn't know her. So she's, like, coming to the realization that, like, not all Fae are idiots. They've just been in this perpetual, like, people in power are, like, women are property and blah, blah, blah.
Even Cormac.
Like, exactly.
He died, too.
Exactly. It's, like, they start to, like, roll back her, like, generalization.
Which, and I get that you have to, like, have that to roll it back. And I think that was, like, the point of it, but it was hard.
It was still annoying.
It was still hard for her to, like...
It was still just like, what are you doing? You know, like, these people.
In the first two books, she always hated her dad.
It wasn't necessarily like...
a whole thing.
Yeah. It was...
Just like you probably can't trust all the humans, girl. Like,
exactly.
It's not like the humans are all 100% hunky-dory.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I wrote, wow, short-lived feelings of victory because the Avalon King is still around. And, like, he's ready to kill, but he
gets his.
Yeah, but at first she, like, tricks him because she's like, I won't kill you. And he tells her something.
I can't remember what he tells her, but I think she does get some information.
Oh, but the fire cage from the Autumn King is still, like, around her friends. And I think that she's, like, worried about that. And then it goes away. And she's like, oh, it's because I killed him.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. No.
Let's see.
So now we're outside. So when they do that, she somehow she sucks up the power, the third piece.
Yes, of power. Of Thea's power.
From Thea.
So now she got all of them.
And it, like, awakens his islands again, much like the prison.
Yeah, they come out and the islands are just, like, popping up.
They just, like, pop up.
It's wild.
It's, like, lush. Like, the castle's overrun with, like, I'm guessing trees and vines.
Yeah, because, like, when they first got there, it's, like, this place is basically dead.
It's, like, just, like, gray.
Sullen,
gray. Yeah. And
now it's vibrant. Now Flynn is like, this place is great!
Yeah, because Flynn and his sister
are
like
earth magic.
They're earth magic people.
Yeah.
Like, I feel it. Yeah,
they're like popping up trees places.
Which is cute. But it was great. And like, now they're like, okay, what's our next plan, basically?
Yes.
Like, we've got Bryce has the power.
Yes. This is also a part that annoyed me.
What? Which part?
It's when they started talking, like, after that, they started talking about their plans.
Yeah.
And, like, Hunt was, like, very, like, well, what if we did this? What if we did this? What if we did this? And I'm like, he's a general.
He's been through war.
Yeah. I'm like, he wouldn't be... And maybe he's just doing it to, like, be, like, I guess...
Partner.
Yeah. But I was like, he would have more... He just seemed like he didn't know what to do next.
You don't...
I'm like...
You're right, actually.
I'm like, you would have more of an opinion on this.
He's been through war multiple times, and even that, he's, like, part of the 33rd. You would think that he would, like...
You'd have more of a strategy mind of this.
You would think he would take more charge in, like, a good way.
Yeah, not a bad way. Yeah.
And that Bryce would want him to.
Yeah, it was weird. That whole scene, I was like...
It was like he was like a little sidekick.
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I'm like, this is not who he is.
Yeah.
And then...
I wrote... she, like, chose, like, whatever plan they have, and I wrote, okay, I'm cool with this plan. It won't work, but it makes sense.
One of my notes was... they were, like... It was when they were having this conversation, and... he's like, my worst nightmare would be to see you in these serious hands and to see you dead. And she was like, and avoiding that fate is worth letting them rule forever.
But yeah, for him it is.
And he says, part of me says yes, and a very loud part of me. He said, but another part of me says that we need to do whatever it takes to this end, so future generations, future mates, they don't have to make the same choices, suffer the same fate as we have. And I was like, why can't she accept that, like, he has conflicting feelings?
Right. He's a whole ass human being.
I'm like, he can feel multiple things at one time. That's what annoyed me through this whole book. Was that she wasn't... Because he was like...
so one-minded.
Yes.
Yeah,
he's not. Yeah, and she thought he was one-minded, and she was just like, this one mindset. I'm like, he's not like, I think that we're going to die, and I'm worried about it, but I'm also not going to help. Like, it was... Yeah.
I don't think we talked about this, but, like, there was one part of the book where he was talking about his ex. I can't remember her name. And he was she never actually told me that, like, she loved me.
Yes! I thought that was sad.
It was so sad for that.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was, like, willing to die for her.
Yes! And she literally never said it. I was like, what?
I was so sad for
I was surprised at that. I was like, oh my gosh. This shows you how much he's... Even for the thought of love.
Willing to die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It's okay to have reservations. I think he's proven he'll give his 1,000%.
Yes. So again, at this point, she's calling in favors, and she has, like, they have service now.
Yeah.
Deck's like, where's my service?
I thought it was so funny. He's like, the thing opens up. He's like, I got service. Oh my gosh.
So she calls
These
in.
people don't know what a phone is.
So Avalon in general is, like, in the Dark Ages.
Yeah,
like,
it's so weird.
Which makes sense, though, because
it's cut off.
It's cut off, like,
there's
in
a first light.
Yeah. So, she calls in Fury to bring her family and to bring, like, anyone they can get into the, like, safety of the Avalon.
Can't come through this.
Yes. And she's like, I know it's selfish, but, like, even if we don't make it back, like, I want people I care about to be here. So she gets, like, what's Fury's, June. There too. So they arrive, and, as they're arriving, Ethan and Hypexia are also on their way to Avalon because they're trying to get Sophie Renstat's body to resurrect her, to use her lightning power to get Siggy.
And this is where I have a problem.
What's your problem?
Because I'm like, they are way too just, like, fixated on this.
There's like a lot more going on.
I know. I'm like, why? It's like we have to get Sophie's body so we can get her resurrect her to help get Siggy off of a Reaper. I'm like, there's just so many more important things going on. I'm sorry, Ethan, but, like,
it's not that great. So Sophie's body's there probably as Cormac.
Yes. And then they're like, she's under the rubble.
And it's great that, like, it gets them there.
Yeah.
But as soon as they land, Bryce is like, oh, you guys gotta go back home.
Yeah. Because Bryce had figured out, we forgot a long time ago, that the Asteri put that parasite in the water.
The parasite, oh my gosh. So intense. Because she, like, gets to Perthian, and she's like, y'all are so powerful.
Yeah, she's like, damn.
But, like, the little telegram hologram people are like, we put the parasite in the water.
Yeah, it's wild.
And so she and Hypexia, like, helped books ago to fix the synth issue.
Yes, the drug issue.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, use that. I believe in you. You can do it. Get the parasite out. So she's like, okay, sure. And Ethan's like, but what about Siggy? And she's like, listen, get this and we'll figure it out later. And he's like, all right, fine. Yeah. So they give Hunt's lightning to her.
They put it in, like, a little crystal.
A little crystal.
A couple crystals.
They think that'll help.
Yeah.
And so they like, send them back off, whatever. And then she's creating a new plan in her head.
Mm-hmm. They're going to go open the rift.
For the hell.
Yep. And then Rune and them are supposed to go back to Crescent City. Mm-hmm. And What were they doing there? I think they were getting the help of, they were going to try to get the help of Celestina and,
Isaiah. Yeah, no,
and the other.
Noemi.
Yeah. So they were going to get reinforcements. One of my notes, is like, I think like after Ethan and them like left, I think, it was like, he had no choice but to keep putting one foot in front of the other. Maybe at some point he'd stop leaving a trail of wake of just absolute destruction in his wake. And I was like, maybe you stop making stupid decisions, Ethan. I'm like, ugh.
Ethan, you're better than this.
Yeah.
You're better than this.
And then Lydia goes with Rune. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, she won't go with him. Love.
Love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then they go back to...
So I did write this. I don't know if you remember. They mentioned that like half the Fae lineage comes from basically Prithian.
Yes.
And they're like, there's this other group of Fae that can shapeshift.
Yeah.
And have elemental powers. And like, we know that's probably the Throne of Glass world, right? But you got Rowan, who we know can like shapeshift into like birds.
And they have like wind and
So I wrote this. Shifters have power. I'm thinking of Lydia. And I was like, this makes so much sense because we keep seeing Lydia with fire at her fingers.
Yes.
She's a little fire, like as like a whatever.
You predicting shit.
I did. I connected this early.
You did.
And I was so proud of myself.
Because we haven't got to that yet.
And I was like, she doesn't have this. ... Yet.
Yet.
And I was like, it has to, like, the one thing that was kind of cool is like wolves being shifters instead of just like wolves. Like that did throw me.
Oh yeah.
They like don't have the ears.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I like all you shifters. I get it. You're coming. So yeah.
Yeah.
Rune and Lydia go off though to like find their stuff.
Yeah.
And then we also get Ethan going back to deal with the Prime.
Yeah. So, like, some of my notes here are, if something happens to Apaxia while, what does this say? So, something unfolds on this fool's errand, I'm gonna be pissed. Or if Sabine just reports this to the Asteri and they destroy the antidote, because at this point, she quickly finds the antidote.
Yeah, she actually does pretty find it. Quickly. Well, she said that she uses, like, the synth one as a basis
as,
for
like,
it.
a guide.
Yeah, which makes sense, So,
like, she quickly finds it.
She gives it to
Ethan
first.
Yeah, like, he takes it.
Oh.
And he, like, has got, like, ice on his fingers.
And that's where that's where this first comes from, is, like, that's where you realize that the wolves are not just, like, wolves.
They're shifters.
They are Fae shifters. Like, they're Fae.
Yeah. But they just, like, are in wolf form.
And, like, they just, like, lost their, like, powers.
Exactly, because of this parasite.
Yes.
So she gives that to him.
His ice powers.
Yeah. And then, so he's gonna go and confront Sabine.
He wants to, like, he wants everyone to
spread
know.
the truth.
He wants everyone to know that, like, the parasite exists. Like,
Yeah.
Like, we should all fight the Asteri.
Yeah, like, I have powers I didn't know I have. It's because Asteri doesn't want you to know you have that.
You have to be able to see it to believe it, basically.
And then he goes to get Danica's, like, papers from the apartment. And he gets a sword! He was like, I was like...
That moment, I was like, you're the Prime. You're the Prime. You're the Prime.
Oh, absolutely. He was
you're
like,
Prime.
Oh, God, where's that? He was like, maybe he didn't need to go unarmed. And I was like, he's going to take the sword. I was like, yes, was just an alpha. Be ready.
That sword was forgotten for a whole book.
It was!
Beautiful.
Because Sabine was like, made such a big deal about it, and she had, like, hasn't been around for a minute.
It was.
Yeah. I was like, he's going to take that fucking sword. And then he goes there.
He does.
And I was like...
And he's there just to, like, inform.
He is. And he meets that girl at the gate. He's like, just gather who you can.
Perry.
Yeah. Like, gather who you can.
Perry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm like, he just wants to spread the truth. He doesn't want to, he's not trying to overtake anything. I want to make an announcement. Yeah. And he's just, like, fighting Alpha so bad. And the Prime comes out. The Prime. Okay. Underrated character of this whole book. The whole series. And is the Prime.
I knew I loved him when he was like,
she's a wolf.
Rice the wolf.
She's a wolf. Oh, yeah. He is so underrated. And he's so old. He's just like, I can't get a lot of places. But he's so wise. And he knows more than he lets on.
Do you remember? Because, like, Danica's next secret.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows that Danica was, like, researching this. And,
like the
he was like,
stuff.
I know that we are stronger than we have been. And I, like, kind of, like, let it slide.
Exactly.
And, like, I regret that.
Yeah.
And he's kind of, like, he named him the next Prime.
He's like, Ethan's, like, speaking all these truths, and Sabine's there, and the Prime's like, you're my next.
You're the next Prime. In front of everyone.
In front of everyone, which I appreciated.
Because, like, so Sabine comes out with the astronomer and Siggy as the Reaper, and she's like, my long lost niece. Yeah. She is my heir.
And they're like, she's Reaper.
And everyone's like, ew, gross.
Yeah,
and she's like,
which they should be.
And, like, Ethan's like, this is what I wanted, but, like, it kind of feels wrong now.
Yeah, that you're suggesting it's like there's a hidden agenda here.
There's clearly something wrong. And, like, she seems kind of villain. Like,
it's like, I think I can control Siggy.
Siggy seems villainous at that point, too.
Yeah, she doesn't seem great.
And so the Prime is like, Ethan is my heir.
And the Prime is so clutch.
He
comes in at the best moments. He doesn't come in a lot, but he comes in at the best moments, and he's like dropping this knowledge. Yeah, I am.
He's great, just a character. You know when they say like dogs have creatures?
Yes,
it's the Prime.
It is. He's like, here you go.
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop this bomb.
But Sabine didn't love that.
And this is when I texted you, and I was like, what the fuck? She killed him.
For all these years
was not expecting that.
I didn't wasn't either because there have been so many probably other times she could have.
Exactly. It's like he's old.
Yeah.
Oh.
She killed him.
And I was like, what a horrible move on her part. Because one, he just named him his successor in front of everybody.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. And then you just killed him in front of everybody after he did that. Girl, this is not a good look. I'm like, what are you doing? At this point, I think she's just scrambling.
Oh, she is. She's, like, in a panic mode. Like, she knows that she's, like, not it.
Ugh.
She knows she's not it.
Which I'm so glad of.
And then, finally.
Ugh.
Oh, and, like, sorry, before that. Reaper Siggy sucks poor Prime's life out of him.
Oh, yeah, because Ethan, from one point, it's like, oh my gosh, I can take him to Paxia and she can fix him. Yeah. And no, she sucks his life right out of him.
Like, she sucks. She sucks.
I had such hopes for her in the second book.
Yeah, but she also kills the astronomer, which that was the only good thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, he had to keep it captive.
Yeah.
No, second book I was, like, Team Siggy, and now I'm like, fuck Siggy.
Oh, yeah, she can rot in hell. For sure.
And then again, Ethan is coursing with, like, raw power.
Oh, yeah, because he took the antidote. He's got all this power.
And Sabine's no match.
No. Sorry, Sabine. Bye!
She's done. He kills her.
It was
such a good moment.
It was so satisfying. Oh, my gosh. Because from the first book, when she was just...
I hated her from the beginning, of course.
From the beginning, when she was just, like, so concerned about that sword. Oh, my gosh, when he bites the sword and crushes it, he's like, this didn't matter.
It's beautiful, because it really is. It's like, she's so obsessed with this sword.
So
like,
obsessed.
The prime to the lineage, like, these, like, these things that, like, don't
Very
matter.
superficial.
They're superficial.
Yeah.
They're just, like, all pomp and circumstance.
Yes.
And they're just, like, destroying. And, like, he's an alpha because he's a fucking alpha.
Yes, exactly. He doesn't need all this stuff.
Not because the Prime said he was. Not because of the sword. But because, like, he is who he is.
Yeah.
And it was such a good moment.
Oh, when he broke that sword.
Such a good moment.
I was like, hell yes. Break that sword, Ethan.
Oh, it was such a good moment.
It was. I am so glad that she got hers. Because... I'm always afraid that people aren't going to get theirs.
Yes.
And then she did. I was like, thank God. Oh. Especially after she killed the Prime. I was like, and I was so glad they did it so quickly.
Yes. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I know that, like, Ethan immediately regretted everything. Because, like, he's a kind heart.
He has a very kind heart.
And, like, I do think that, like, him and Perry are in game now.
Yes.
I'm recounting.
Yeah.
I'll talk about her smell again, also.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, but
it's always about smell.
But she's stuck by his side. Like, she is the one that brought him to Bryce. Mm-hmm. In that last book.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was.
She wanted him to not die.
Yeah, she was the only one who ever checked up on him.
Yes, exactly. So I think that, like, she is great for him. Amelia even was, like, kind of on his side, so... Ethan's Prime, though. Ethan is Prime.
Yeah.
And Bryce is the queen of the Valbaran and Avalon Fae.
Yeah.
Like,
we got our people in power.
We're racking up.
We got people in power.
We're racking up some shit.
I'm appreciative. Yeah. I'm appreciative of it.
Oh, because Room did, like, denounce us, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, what's next?
Next is... Oh, I wrote my next thing is, why are they so bad at opening gates to hell? So we're going to the Northern Rift.
Oh, yeah.
With Bryce. So the helicopter comes in. They're bringing supplies. Fury's there. And, like, she puts Braxian in charge of Avalon is, like, keep him safe.
Yep.
She's, in her mind, she's like, at the very least, all my, like, close friends are safe.
Yeah.
It sucks. I know it's selfish. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I need my mom and my stepdad to come with me because, like...
He can fly a helicopter and he can take us there. Yeah.
Exactly. He knows where we're going. So, they get in the helicopter, they go to the Northern Rift, and their plan is to open the gate to hell as they, talked about, and to, like, get their armies built, like, bolstered. Mm-hmm. And they get to hell, and number one, there's no, sentiaries there. Like, there's no one, like,
there's no guards.
The guards.
Yeah. They're like, what is this?
That's, like, sus. So they get, like, a little camera, and we see the harpy.
They brought her back to life.
Which is lightning. Creepy mutant harpy.
Yeah, she's not herself.
Nothing in the eyes. There's no soul there.
No, it's just her essence.
And so, like, we gotta get this done fast.
Yeah, so she's just obeying orders blindly.
So they go to the gate there.
Yep.
And Bryce uses her power. Like, Hunt uses her powers on her, and she opens it.
She doesn't open it to hell, though.
That's why I wrote, why are they so bad at opening gates to hell? Because every time she tries,
it's not to hell.
She's not going to hell.
It's just like, oh, we tried. We did not succeed.
So immediately it opens to Nesta. She's chilling in her bedroom reading a book.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck are you doing here?
Give me that mask.
And she's like, give me the mask.
Yeah.
She's like,
no.
No.
Yeah.
And, she's like, Reese will be here in 10 seconds.
Right.
Like, get your shit together.
Yeah.
And she's like...
And Cassian, probably.
Yeah. And she's like, I know you have, like, no reason to trust me. I'm gonna... Like, these are my parents.
Collateral.
I love them more than anything in the entire world.
Yeah.
Like, Nesta can see that.
Yeah.
And she can see that they're human, too. Mm-hmm. And, like, that, like, Nesta is human.
Yeah, she relates.
Yeah, so she was like... I am giving you them. They don't even know. Because, like, she's speaking in another language.
The fact that they don't know is wild. Like, she brought them there, and I'm like, dang, Bryce.
She didn't know, like, why they were there. And, like, she's, like, speaking in, like, the language they don't understand, because, like, her little bean.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, what's going on? And she's like, Nesta agrees. She pulls the mask out of nowhere.
And then she pushes them through.
And she pushes them, because she knows that they won't go willingly.
Yeah.
And she closes the portal.
And she's like, my mom will never forgive me. I'm like, damn, girl. I was cutthroat.
And so I was like, oh, her parents. And then I wrote, Hunt hates Bryce in this moment.
Yeah.
And I was like, not okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like one of those things where she didn't tell him. And it was just like...
He was so mad.
Yeah.
But again, I think that, like, that was a very personal choice for her.
Yeah.
And I that was such a hard moment.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I was surprised.
I was shocked.
I was like...
But it shows you, like, how much she wants it. To be able to... But it was selfish also in some regards.
Because she's like, even if they're not here, even if we lose, they're still safe there.
If we lose, they are safe.
Yeah.
Like, there's no Asiri in Perthian right now. Like, that was selfish in some respects. But, like, obviously, like, she wants to be able to see her parents again.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, it was so hard. I wrote, okay, damn her kids. I don't know what that means. Oh, Pollock stole her kids?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Pollock stole her kids.
So they can't find Noemi and Isaiah, but they do find out that Pollock stole her kids. But the reason they can't find Noemi and Isaiah,
they come out of
Celestina.
Yeah, they come out. They're in the Northern Rift. They come out of they come out of Nesta's world. They haven't opened the gate yet.
Not yet, yeah.
And then Isaiah.
The Harpy shows up first.
Harpy shows up first.
Yeah.
And then
she's soulless. They kill her.
Yeah, and then or like Bryce told her just to like calm down, like sit down, like your time is over. She just kind of like
she has a mask on.
She like crumples.
She puts the mask on. That's right.
Yeah. And then Celestina and Isaiah and Naomi are kind of like, whoa, what is this power?
And I'm back on the Celestina train because, like, she was sad. She, like, felt bad for selling them out. Yeah. She lost hypexia during that. And she's like...
She learned.
She was like, I was afraid for my own self and my own love. And, like, I brought Isaiah and Noemi here to, like...
Yeah, she's like, I know something's wrong.
Yeah, like, I chose to do this.
Like, against the Asteri's, like, what they've told me to do.
Yeah, so, like, I'm back on her being okay.
And she was kind of like, she told Bryce, like, hey, whatever, like, what you... At first, she was like, you're opening the hell? Like, this is what I've tried not to do my whole life.
Because she was originally stationed there, like, back
exactly.
in the day. Yeah.
So, but it's the fact that she's, like, trusting enough to be like, okay, you do what you gotta do.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
So they are like, okay, do what you gotta do, and then they open up the gates. Gates to hell.
So now we actually are though back in Ethan's land. He's getting to the bone quarter because he once again wants to talk to Connor. This man's obsession with his brother is a bit much at this point.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit much.
It's a bit much.
I have siblings. I love them.
I do. But it's a bit much.
It's a bit much.
It is.
He's just trying to absolve himself.
Yes.
And it's like so...
I feel like it's such like a guilt thing.
It's so unnecessary.
Yes!
Because like, I know Connor, and you know Connor, and he knows Connor, and Connor's not mad at him.
No! He's just like, I feel like he has to feel like he has to absolve himself. I'm like, dude, you're fine.
Yeah, like, honestly, are you sure you're not the oldest brother? Because you're acting like it.
Yes. Oh, it's too much.
Yeah.
Because, they want to go to, and he's like, I need to talk to Ethan. I'm like, alright, I need to talk to Connor. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can you just, like...
Calm down.
Yeah. I'm like, there are other things that need to happen.
There's way more important things.
There's a bigger picture here.
Yes.
Oh, there's a bigger picture here.
So, he does go there, and, like, okay, I wrote this down for, like, connecting things. Okay. So I don't know if you notice in the descriptions. Mm-hmm. Probably did. But they mentioned that the, like, statue of Erd actually is, like, a bastardization of Word.
Oh, yeah.
Did you mark that?
Oh my gosh.
Read it.
Where's that? I said word. I saw word.
You saw the word.
I saw the word word.
I know you hate the word.
I saw the word. Oh my gosh.
I was like,
I literally was just like, word, question mark.
Read the passage. Or did you tag it with that? Or what'd you do?
I was like, where was that? I don't know. And the Underking went on, just drinks the unusual depiction of Erd towering above him, was not a goddess, blah, blah, blah. A cauldron of life brimming with language of creation. Erd, they call her here a bastardization version of the true name. Word, we called her in that old world. And I was like, word?
You know, they said the word cauldron too.
Yeah, I was like, word. I was like, wait, what?
What? It's all connected. Literally,
it's all connected.
The Underking has to have come from Third Glass World, I feel like, then.
Yeah.
Because, like, they mentioned that he came from somewhere. And I feel like it has to be, like, he came from Third Glass. Mm-hmm. And he's, like, here, some, like, non-dying entity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then I
said, ooh, we're killing everybody. I love it.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what did I say? Guess, oh, crap. I can't even remember.
They use the ice. They use the ice to kill the Underking. He uses his ice to freeze the Underking, but they get Hypexia to come through and, like, do the kill blow.
And then she's the queen.
Because her killing the Underking, who is the king of House of Flame and Shadow.
She's next.
She's now the queen.
That's what I said. I hope she's next.
She is. Yep. She is the queen of the House of Flame and Shadow because she killed him. Mm-hmm. And, like, thank God they made her kill him and, like, not Ethan.
Yeah. But, oh yeah, because I'm like, he can't lead a lot of. He can't lead as many things.
He's got a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
he's like barely the prime.
Yeah, he can't be spread this thin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was glad he got his too. Oh, that's what.
That was a really good moment. I feel like I appreciate that.
Because he sucked.
Okay, my next note is gang, let's reunite.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Because it's like they've taken out Sabine.
Yeah,
they've opened the rift.
Yeah.
She has the cure for the whatcha-doodle.
Oh yeah, so like their whole goal is to get it to them in time.
Yes.
But like oh my god, Aelin. Bryce is like doesn't have time to wait.
Yeah.
So like which is very Aelin of her.
Yeah.
Like they're trying to get into the Crystal Palace again.
Yes.
And they have their own plan to
and they're just Ethan and them are like hoping to intercept them.
Yeah. Because they're trying to destroy the power source of the Asteria at that point.
And they're like, if we can do this, we can destroy
And she,
them.
again, is also, like, trying to, like, think through, like, the whole sword situation.
Yeah. Oh.
And they have the pits together. Oh, my bad. Sorry.
One of these notes that I have, and I think I, like, skipped some parts, because when I get to, like, the end of the book, I'm like...
intense.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to, like, distract myself, but one of my notes that I got so annoyed with... I don't know where to go. When they're still in Crescent City, and Sathia, Tharian's wife, sees her, like, ex as, like, one of her, like, the Viper Queen's cronies.
Yeah, I was, like, kind of sad.
And she was like, I can't leave Colin in her hands. I hope you understand. Good luck, and thank you for all you've done for me. I was like, excuse me.
Yeah, but, like, and we never really see her again.
I know!
That's the last time we see her.
That is also one of my pain points of this book. Is that we never see her again.
And, like...
I was very annoyed.
It's explained that, like, she was gonna marry him and her dad, like, the whole, like...
It wasn't, like, a match.
High Lord, whatever, like, bullshit.
It made me so mad.
Because they really done so much for her. You know. I thought she liked him.
I think she does.
I think she does.
We'll get to what happens in the end. Okay, but...
Yeah, that was sad. Sad.
But then they're, like, basically they get to the
castle.
They get to the castle. They're at the Crystal Palace.
We must be talking about, before that happens, Lydia, I know they were mates before I even knew who Day was. Glad he's slowly figuring out. So, Rune's figuring out that Lydia's his mate somehow.
And he's not admitting it.
But he won't admit it.
But he's very, like, vaguely saying it in his mind.
Yeah, in his mind. He's like, this is like something.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to say it, but... And he doesn't say it yet.
Because, like, they're about to, like, go into, like, this...
Yeah.
Big shit.
Death trap.
Yeah. Because she's trying to save her son. Sorry, Pollux stole her sons.
Yes, they have her sons.
So, like, their plan is... Rune and Lydia are going to go get her sons... But, like, Aelin and gang are gonna go destroy the, like, life force of the Asteri.
And also, like, part of their plan is to raise the dead of the fallen.
With her mask.
I do
like that plan.
Yeah, and, like, put them in the suits.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
a decent plan.
This could work.
Yeah.
My next note is because I think that, because I think Tharian and Ethan both have antidotes, and one of them gets them to Lydia. And I'm like, yes, fire.
I know. Okay, I wanted Lydia to have it, but you have two left. Shouldn't they be for Hunt and Bryce?
That's fair.
But I'm so excited. And, like, it makes so much sense. But that's when we get the whole... Oh, my gosh. Okay, we gotta talk about this. No. Should we talk about this already? Well, Brandon.
Oh.
It's, like, later.
I was like, why?
She mentions Brandon later.
Why she had named Brandon after the oldest legends from her family's bloodline of a Fae King from another world. And I literally said, holy shit, what?
What?
How did she know that?
I'm like, timelines don't make sense to me right now.
They don't. If there's anybody out there who has a breakdown,
I need a timeline.
Share it. We want it. We're here for it. We're just, like, drunk on wine talking about this.
Because what?
Because what? Because I read that and I was like, how does she know that's even his name? I was so confused.
So I'm like, are you related to Aelin?
Yeah, I was like, what? Yeah. Because the whole book, they concentrate on the other world.
I clocked that, like, yes, the other Fae, the shapeshifters.
But that was the first mention of a name.
World.
And I was like, what the fuck?
And that's
it's a specific mention.
I don't really know the timeline of, like, Aelin to Brandon either, though.
No.
I don't know that timeline.
You got a timeline, give it over.
Please. Because, like, I don't...
We want it.
Like, when did you travel here? Like, how long... Did you, like, know about Brandon?
Yeah.
And then, like, your world split, and then, like, Aelin's, like, hundreds of years later? I don't know. I don't know.
I need these connections.
Like,
Sarah J. Maas, give us the connections.
Because she was like... I had a little bit of fire even without this antidote.
Yes.
And I kept it hidden.
Yes.
Because I knew people would, like, exploit it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good for you, girl. Good for you.
It was, When they made that mention of Brandon, I was like, what? What's happening? Oh, yeah.
Oh, so while that's happening, they make it inside. But before they make it inside, we do kill one Asteri. The Asteri show up, and Aelin
It's like the really cocky one that gets real close.
The girl is a girl.
Yeah.
Bryce does manage to create some
little black hole.
little black hole.
Yeah.
And it
like once
sucks her in with she uses 2 swords. And it sucks her in, and she's like, "Oh, this does work."
Yeah, but she also, I think, feel the stuff coming in.
She does. She understands like it's not very like stable.
Yeah, like there's a risk.
So they make it inside because they're like she should not have like stayed to wait to try and kill Anastiri because she used a lot of her power.
Yes,
and that wasn't part of the plan.
No,
she's going on plan.
Oh,
but she makes it inside. They all make it inside, and like Lydia does a thing. And then I wrote more antidotes broken because Therian drops like half the antidotes.
He's like in water. And he's like, oh, I have these things, but they're broken now.
No, they don't know how unstable they are, and I'm like, shit.
Yeah. Why did you give these to Therian?
Yeah.
Sorry, Therian, but you ain't the most responsible. Yeah. But he finds them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, I had these, but they're broken. But they're broken. Sorry.
But he gives one to Lydia to heal her. Oh, yeah. Because Rune shoots her because he knows Pollux has her. They realize where Pollux is, and he's like, if she goes there, like, I don't want her to die.
Yeah,
and
she
will die for her kids, and I want to be the one to save them, basically.
So he shoots her. And she's like, I will never forgive you.
And she's like, I'll never forgive you. He's like, he doesn't care though, because like, as long as he can save those kids.
Yeah, that's his first priority.
That's what matters.
Stepdaddy!
Gang. That's what matters. So, he makes it there and then Therian heals her.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't know why I wrote this.
What?
I wrote, Rune, how can you say things like that? OMG, I love you, mates.
Oh, probably
is this when Pollux is around?
Oh, maybe.
So, eventually, it becomes Rune, Pollux, the 2 kids.
And her.
Her and Therian.
Yes.
Therian gets... he's, like, threatening to shoot people.
Yeah. So I'll kill all these people.
And he doesn't know that she's already got her powers. But he shoots Therian.
Is that right?
Yeah, he shoots Therian. Because Therian's, like, bleeding out.
Oh, yeah.
And Rune, like, goes to save the kids. Because that's, like, a big deal somehow. But they kill Pollux.
Yes.
So she has to kill Pollux. It has to be her, right? With her fire.
That seems right.
I think she kills Pollux. And I wrote Danica knew the Hind too. Because Danica had one more secret. Of course she did.
Worst friend.
Because she's like a little...
Hot take.
She's the worst friend.
Danica's the worst friend.
She's a little bloodhound. And so she, like, when we have this internal monologue of Lydia saying that she knows Brain and that she knew she had power, like fire power, she's also saying that she had met Danica and Danica had smelled it on her.
Yes.
She had smelled her lineage.
And she had been, like, researching the lineage and, like, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, she was part of that, too. And I'm like...
Danica, why are you still giving us surprises from the grave?
Literally, like... Are we done now?
Are we done now?
Are our secrets over?
I can only hope. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, so they, and at this point, I think, like, Ethan finds them, and they're coming out.
Yeah.
Rune is coming out with the kids, and she's like, get them to safety.
Oh, yeah, she's like, I don't care about me, get them to safety, and he's like, yes, ma'am, basically.
Yes, and he takes the kids, and he's like, get them to safety. And then Ethan's running in, and he's like, I have this antidote. Where's Bryce? He's like, where's Bryce at? And, he's like, she's somewhere in here.
Oh, but she doesn't take it. Does Rune take it? It doesn't make it to Bryce.
It doesn't make it to Bryce.
I think Rune might take it.
Yeah, that seems right.
I think he's about to die with the kids.
Oh, that seems right.
I think he's about to die with the kids.
And
he takes it.
Yeah.
And he saves them.
He definitely saves them.
And at that point, so we're back. Let's go back to Bryce
and Hunt are together.
They are in the little first light.
Oh, Ethan! Oh my gosh. I can't believe I forgot this. Ethan.
What does he do?
He went to the Underking before the Underking, or after the Underking had died. Connor did come to him and gave him a bullet!
Oh, I forgot I wrote that!
Gave him a bullet. He gave him the bullet. And he's like, make sure Bryce, like, makes this shot count.
Oh my god.
And I was like, I guess Connor did have, like, some importance.
Yeah, before the Under King died, he was like, I'll grant you time. And so he talks, but Connor can't speak physically. Yeah. So he gives him the bullet, and he's like, what the hell? But then they kill the Under King.
And then Paxi is like, you can speak.
And then he speaks, and he's like, we all put our second light into this bullet, use it to, like, kill an Assyri, use the God Killer gun.
Yep.
And it's like,
so he's got the bullet. He's got, that is what he's trying to get to her.
And he's like, are you gone though? And he's like, I'm where we should be.
Yes.
Like, that's like,
I'm not taken to the second light. Yeah.
Is that where we see Layla? No, that's not that part yet, right?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. So he's like, okay, great. Super. So
so he's got the bullet. That's what he's trying to get to Bryce.
He's on a mission to get the bullet to Bryce.
Yeah.
So, but they're
in, like, the depths of the palace.
Yes.
With Regulus. Mm-hmm. Trying to, like, harm these, like,
they are
power things.
They're winnowing to these, like, specific spots to, like, have, like, weak spots. Mm-hmm. And Hunt is, like, shooting his lightning into her, and she's, like, he's blasting things. I don't know, someone's blasting things. And I think she's winnowing and he's blasting. And, like, they're trying to, like, disrupt this core. And as they're about to, like, destroy the core, like, she's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Mm-hmm. And he tells her that, like, if you destroy this core, it's a kill switch.
Yes,
it's a kill switch, and you're all going with us.
And she's like, fuck it.
And if she has a little moment, she's like, oh no.
Yeah.
She gets Hunt out of here. She's like, leave.
Yeah, she gives him the mask.
She does. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, she gives him the mask, and she's like, get out of here, just in case.
Because, the Fallen are fighting in the mech suits outside. Yeah. It's a big deal. It's great. And he's like, he doesn't want to, but he knows war. Like, he knows he has to. And so he does. And she's like, fuck it.
She takes that bullet, which is essentially a bomb, and she shoots it, and then all hell breaks loose.
Not literally, because it's already there.
Yeah.
But a black hole is formed.
This is where... Okay, so this is where... One of my other qualms with this book.
What? I didn't mind the ending.
I didn't mind the ending. I just thought that the like...
Black hole?
Not the black hole, but, like... So she goes into the black hole.
Yeah.
And they're all, like, pulled in, kind of thing. They're all just, like... Basically just, like, wasting away. They, like, get pulled.
That's how black holes work. It's so creepy.
Over this, like, horizon, and they're just gone. And she's, like...
All the other series,
yeah, she's, like, working to not get pulled with them.
But there's, like, no...
There's no air to...
So you can't, like, swim against anything.
Yeah, it's just, like, you're getting pulled. One of my, like, things was, like, when Hunt, like, puts on a suit, like, he realizes one of the suits is, like, one of his, like, lost loves.
No, I like that part, though.
No, not that. It's not that I didn't like.
Just real quick. So it is, like, the lady that he thought he would love.
I cannot think of his name.
It's an S. It's like a Sid something.
Yeah.
And, like, she was a fallen because she, like, led the rebellion. Yeah. And he, like, followed her, and she died, and, like, she came back, and she was, like, ready to help him.
No, see, I like that.
Okay.
And the only part, what I didn't like, or it's not that I didn't like it, but what it made me think of was when, in, like, the first Avengers, when, like, Iron Man goes through that portal, that's what it made me think of. And I was just like, it made me think of Iron Man.
Iron Man goes through the portal.
In the first Avengers, when they're in New York City, and, like
the little,
there's, like, a...
frozen people or something?
No, there's, like, the alien people come through. It's, like, and they're all in New York, and...
So they mass watch Avengers, it's fine.
And, like, there's... they, like, send a nuke to New York, because they're like, we gotta get these... Like, we just gotta kill all these people. Yeah. I'll kill all these things. And Tony Stark, like, takes the nuke, and he, like, pushes it into the portal that they've opened.
Yeah.
And he goes through it, and it, like explodes up in, like, space or whatever through the portal, and then he falls through the portal,
it's, like,
thankfully.
Frozen.
Yeah, but it made me think of that. It was just, like, it was kind of just, like, it was more sci-fi than I was expecting.
With the space thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that was it. It was more sci-fi than I was expecting it to be.
That's fair.
I still liked it. But it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
This is the direction we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
Yeah. But I liked it.
So she goes to the black hole, and she's falling, and she's like, she's kind of like, whatever, I'll die.
Yeah.
For, like, my people. So she's about to die, and she's like, it's fine, this is what it's meant to be. Like, I am sacrificing myself.
Yes. And then Hunt puts on a suit.
But Hunt comes and saves her, and, like, it's like, you know what's gonna happen. So he grabs her, he brings her back. But all the friends are, like, holding the portal open.
Yes.
Precious.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're keeping this open. And get back through,
And
please.
she comes through, and, like, she falls through the portal, and she's fine.
And Asteria
are gone. They're in this, like, pocket realm. Like, they're in a black hole. They're essentially dead. They're like, black hole. And, like, that's how the Prince of the Pit defeated them. Like, he is a black hole. Which I don't
he basically, like, ate that one into a black hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there is, like, one more part where they do get to see everyone doing well. And I wrote, like, they saw, like, the fire spirit too.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And, like, Connor and all of them, but they also, like, saw people that are, like, past. Like,
yeah, so they see them all in, like, an afterlife.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
It is nice.
Because that was, like, a whole big thing in the second book where it's, like, there's not an afterlife.
Second life, yeah, like, there's, and, like, it makes you think even Danica's, like, out there. Like, it's, like, your life force may be gone, but, like, your soul
is somewhere.
Yeah.
That was nice. I appreciated that.
Yes, I did too.
I'll go ahead and tell you what I did not appreciate is that as much as, like, Therian was in this book and, like, making poor decisions and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
In the end of it, he was like, yeah, I'm going to go find Cynthia. That was it. I'm going to go find her.
Oh, yeah. Like, well, there's obviously, like, they're going to try and continue something, but I don't want to read a book about...
No, exactly. I'm like, you're not going to get a whole book.
Therian book.
No, exactly. That's why I was like, you're not going to get a whole book. Can I get some closure here?
No, please no.
There's no way. That's why I was like, can I get some closure here about what's going on?
Like, I don't want, like, an Ethan. Like, I like Ethan more than Therian, but, like, still.
But like, I wouldn't want a book of either of them.
No.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what's going on? Yeah. But it makes me think, because you don't know anything about, like, Ethan and Perry, or, like, him, like, going into Prime, and, like, Therian.
No, like, that is, like, the continuation, I feel like.
Yeah.
And, like, you can give me some Flynn and Deck love. I'd read that shit.
And, like, Flynn and the dragon.
I'd read that stuff.
Yeah, but I'm like, what? It makes me curious where they're going, like, where she's going with this. I'm like, what books are we getting next?
Yeah.
Because I was like, can I just get this now?
Yeah.
Can you just, like, give me a little spurt of, like, he went and saw Sathia and they live, like, they're good.
Yes. And also, like, another wrap up that I wrote here is she did go back to the Rift and she went to, like, return the Maas to Nesting.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I guess we're setting up for the next ACOTAR book, because they just, like, keep referring to Rhys.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and, like, that was kind of annoying, where they just kept being like, Rhys is on his way, and I'm like...
here.
I'm like...
But where is he?
Yeah,
but where is he? And Cassian was there for a second.
Cassian was there this time.
He was
And
there.
he was, like, besties with the parents.
He was! They were, like, having tea or some shit.
I believe that so easily.
Absolutely.
I was like...
They gave them the beans, so they were, like, talking to him, and I was like, love it.
I was like... Cassian would be best friends with her parents.
Yeah. I love him.
And, like, it was sweet because, like, Nessa's mom sucked. For her to be, like, a good hug. And, like, because she is a good mom. That was sweet.
Yeah. That was nice. I like that part a lot.
I did. But I think it's, like, prepping us for, like, the next... Because she returned. She gave them both swords.
Yes.
So, like, that's, like, probably a big setup for, like, the next ACOTAR book, too.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I mean?
It's all a whole thing with, like, I need timelines. People. Provide them, please.
Please.
Yeah.
And then we get into Bryce calling a little Fae convention.
Oh, yeah.
And dissolving the monarchy.
Like, we ain't having this no more.
I said, R.I.P. Queen Bryce.
Yeah. I mean...
Short-lived.
She's like, I don't want any of this.
I know.
She's like, we need all to be in harmony. Yeah. Which is fair. And then I have, like, 2 more notes. One of them is, they got an apartment together. Oh,
because Lydia and Rune moved in underneath Bryce.
Yeah, they're like, we're here. We're in the same building.
It's so cute.
It's cute.
And he, like, hung out, like, he was saying bye to her kids.
Oh, yeah.
And like, he was, like, talking to them in the mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was sweet.
That was nice.
They're so cute.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Good stepdad.
I'm like, let me get a book of them.
And then you wanted my last note.
What's your last note?
It's all caps. Flying horses. What a happy ending.
It was such a random ending. I was like, what?
She had seen them.
Because you haven't even heard from Bax in a while, and he's like, by the way, there's a Pegasus here.
Like, she had, we had seen them in, her Jubilee, whatever.
Yeah.
And then we had seen them.
In, paintings and stuff.
We had seen them in Thea's.
Oh, yeah, the hologram thing.
The hologram thing. She's like, they were real. They existed. They killed them all. And then, Braxian's like, hey.
By the way.
There's things happening.
Yeah,
here.
It was wild.
And she's like, they had to have hidden it. I'm like, what?
Yeah. I thought that was such a random ending. But I didn't mind it.
It was meant to be the happy ending.
Yeah. It was very light.
Like a new start.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, these things that you thought were dead, they're here. Come deal with them.
And Bryce is still she's not the queen, but she's still ordering a council, and I'm on the council, bitches.
Yeah.
So
it was so funny.
And so it's she's on the council, Ethan's the prime, Hypaxia is the flaming shadow. They've racked.
Brains and power.
Oh my god. We did not say this. So Bryce comes back from the black hole with Hunt, and she's dead.
Oh yeah.
We did not mention that. She's dead, and Jezebel shows up.
Yeah, Jezebel.
And she's
she gives her her life force, essentially.
She's I've been here for 15,000 years. I've been wanting to die for so long.
Yeah.
And the Prince of the Pit is there too, and he's like, what are you doing? She's like, no,
I can do this.
She gives her life force to Bryce.
Yeah, I forgot about that. And Jezebel dies.
And Jezebel dies. Happily.
Yeah, she was there for a reason.
She was.
I was glad that she got that kind of purpose.
I was too. Because I was going to say, she was named, the second in command of the House of Flame and Shadow, but, it didn't matter because she did die.
Yeah.
So we have, most houses accounted for in our little friend group.
Yeah.
That was what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know what the next book's going to be. Predictions.
Yeah, so, we kind of, ended on, fairly peaceful terms, but you just, never know.
Rebuilding.
We're rebuilding, and, I know that they call Isaiah up to, and they get rid of... We don't want to talk about this, but,
the halo. Oh, yeah,
Hunt can, get rid of his own halo.
Yeah, they told him that, halfway through the book, and he's like, how? And they're like, you should know.
Just, do it.
It's in you.
And he, did it, and then
they're so cryptic!
They are. And they got rid of, Isaiah's as well. Mm-hmm. And Isaiah, he was like, I want you to be, the person leading.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this, you do it.
Yeah.
I'm, Bryce's husband. So... he's still, in power with the archangels, and, Celestina's still, technically there, too, and then he wants to believe in them being, their whole thing is, we made it through the hard part, but, we still have a whole, world to set up.
Yeah.
For success.
We have to, we were all crippled by these people.
These overlords.
And they were our, center of everything. Now we have to, rebuild.
Because there's still, hard things in the world even without that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
So, they kind of in there, it's I don't know, I think... The next books, they would have to... If they follow the pattern of what they did with the ACOTAR...
Mm-hmm. A little holiday book.
I think... Well, not... Well, that. But I think that they would be, shifting focus probably to...
Rune. Lydia.
Rune, Ethan...
Tharian.
I think that
Sorry,
Hunt...
Tharian, I don't want your book.
I think that Hunt and... Bryce,
they're just gonna be good.
They would take a back seat and they would be yeah, rule, they'd be, going through, political shit, working on things. And, war, war could come about, because, really only, no
There's
part
always
of...
gonna be war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But...
There's still gonna be, maybe, humans who resent them and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and we didn't really talk about this either, but, speaking of Tharian, the Ocean Queen was I've been here since the beginning.
Oh, yeah!
And I'm bitch, why would you not say anything?
Right? She's I'm just biding my time, essentially.
Yeah.
When the time's right. I'm
so, who knows if that could and the Viper Queen too, that could always escalate.
Yeah. That's true.
So there's things that could definitely escalate. What do you think?
I think that the next book would be Ethan.
Yeah.
I think the next book would be Ethan.
I like Ethan.
And him coming into prime.
With Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Dealing with Amelia.
Yes. All that.
Mm-hmm.
The whatever from the
and he could be maybe delving in more to the Thorn Glass side of him too, you know what
That's
I mean?
true. That's true. Tying that.
Lydia.
The lineage there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like it would be an Ethan-based book.
Yeah.
Because I feel like even with this book, we still got a lot of Rune. I don't think it would be Rune and Lydia. It might be. I'm wondering, like, how many more books. Because I'm like, if you have 3 more books, it could be, like, Ethan, Rune, Therian, or whatever kind of variation.
I will say that I think that, like, Sarah J. Maas likes to, like, center it around a woman.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you
that'd be hard, because, like, that wouldn't be either of them.
No, it would be... Like, you're not going to center a book around... You could center a book around Lydia.
Lydia, yeah.
You couldn't center a book around Perry.
We barely know her.
Like, maybe you center a book around Lydia and it has, like, parts of them in it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or if we get more of, like...
You get more of them in one book and then kind of... Because you don't... We barely got Anastasia. I was like, where is this girl coming from?
Yeah, so, like, she would be a big part of it.
Or Perry. I mean, we got some, but, like, not a lot.
Like, we don't really know them.
Exactly. I don't know.
But, like, before we got Ness's book, did we really get a lot of her?
We got a lot of awful of her.
But, like, it wasn't even, like, that much, though. You know what I mean?
That much, yeah.
So, like, it...
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I definitely think there will be more books. There has to be more books in this universe. Because I'm like, I don't know what...
I love this universe.
Yeah, I'm just like, what's...
Oh, and, like, we didn't talk about this, but, like, the, with the... We're trying to prevent the parasite and the Assyria, blah, blah, blah. The, like, first light is going away.
Oh, yeah, they're like, how are we going to power the city?
The city's going to be devoid of power.
How are we going to have cell phones?
And they're like, we're going to have to go back to, like, the ways of the Avalon.
Yeah, unless we find, like, a way to generate this power.
And I remember them saying that, like, the Assyria originally had to be a volunteer tithe kind of thing.
Yeah.
So you could.
And you still wouldn't have the parasite in you where, like, even if you, like, gave up a piece
power.
of it, you'd still have more power.
You have more power, yeah. So, like, it could work out, but, like, we'll see.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, man, I thought it was a great book.
Where would you rank this? Okay, so now that we have this arc is basically done.
Yeah.
1 through 3.
1 through 3.
Rank them.
I think 1 has to be at the bottom. Just because, like...
Okay.
You know, like, usually, like, I love the first book, but, like, the stakes just, like, weren't there in the first book.
That's fair.
And, like, it was buddy cop. And, like, it was so good, but it was just, like, very much world building to me.
Mm-hmm.
1 versus 3. 2 versus 3. Do you have an answer?
Oh, I have an answer.
Or you go first, then.
Okay.
Maybe it'll sway me.
Mine is... It won't sway you.
You're putting 1 first?
No.
Oh,
I'm not putting 1 first, but I'm going 2, 1, 3.
2, 1, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
2, 1. You think 3 is the worst?
I didn't. But the thing is, it's like not that it's like the worst because to me they're all good.
Yeah.
But to me, like because of just the qualms I had with how they wrote them at some points, I'm like that is the main factor of what's putting it third.
I would probably say 2, 3, 1 then.
Okay.
Yeah, like 2 was just like
2 was great.
2 was so good.
2 was the best.
It was so like the end. It was just all around good.
Yeah.
But and like I did like dislike the whole 3 like the Bryce Hunt thing, but like I just like love the mythos from it. I think so much.
That's fair.
That
That's fair. And I like the buddy cop of 1. I was like I was unexpecting of it, so I was like, oh, this is fun.
No, it was cute. It was cute.
Yeah.
But 2
is definitely 1.
But
like,
2 is by far and easily number 1.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
It was so good. Minus the prologue.
Minus the prologue. I mean, I guess you can...
Sorry, Sophie, your aunt's not.
I guess you can, like, throw the prologue in there, but...
But yeah. No, it was so... and I hope she does write more in this world.
I'm like...
Series.
I'm like... I mean, I'm not an author, but I'm like, man... When's the next one coming out? Wait, when is the next one coming out?
No, we don't have a release date for anything else yet.
We have a release date for Iron Flame.
Yeah.
We don't have a release date for this.
No, she has not released anything else. But, like, the word on the street is that it's a new ACOTAR book, which would be hopefully the Elaine book.
Yeah.
Which they better fix Elaine's personality.
You're gonna give her some personality?
Before then. Because, like, liking gardening is not a personality trait.
She has, like, no personality.
I like to garden, and I'm so annoyed that I can hear things. That's, like, all I know about her. That's all I know about her.
And even, like, pre-Faye, she was just, like, in the human world, like, I'm gonna marry this guy.
And he was, like, a shit guy.
He was a shit guy.
And she was pissed about not marrying him, even after knowing he was a shit guy.
She was so mad. Even though he was just, like, basically just, like, a Faye killer kind of thing.
Yeah, and your sister's a Fae now. You're a Fae now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
And she wanted to go back to him.
She did.
Oh, we'll get into that.
The Iron Rings. Okay, yeah. Join us for the Akatar series. Anyway, Crescent City though.
Yeah.
A great series. Like, definitely a different vibe than any of her other series.
Absolutely.
And a step above as far as like world building and like things like that.
It's way more in depth.
Way more in depth, but like so enjoyable.
Absolutely. Yeah. People who like are put off by the first book's world building, I'm like,
just get through it.
Just get through it. It's not that bad.
It's not that deep. You know what I mean?
No.
You'll be fine.
They keep mentioning stuff. It's not like they mention it and then never mention it again.
Like, remember everything.
Yeah, no, they keep mentioning it.
And like Bryce is such a great heroine minus those moments in the third book.
Yeah,
and like,
I agree.
We love Hunt.
We love Hunt.
And then you get Rune as like a bonus guy.
Absolutely.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was great. You did it again Saturday Maas. Like, would never doubt you.
No, we're here for it.
Who was you listening to?
Ooh.
There's so many people.
Oh, God. I don't even know. There's so many people in that book.
Oh, my gosh. I think...
Who are you cheering to? I don't even know who I'm going to cheers to. Man, that's hard.
Well, I'm going to cheers to Lydia.
Oh, that's solid.
I like Lydia. I'm going to cheers to her.
I'm gonna cheers to Sathia because you know what? In that we cried about this part when they went to the River Queen. She was like,
she was a badass.
She was badass.
She was not afraid.
That's why I was so mad that we didn't get her.
My dad.
That's why I was so mad we didn't get her in the end.
It was a cop out.
Cause it was such a cop out.
That's why I like to think that maybe she's like setting her up for something more. In the future.
Because I was like, why don't we get? Because she in those scenes she was so like confident and
that
stuff.
was a selfless act of her like going to that man. Mm-hmm. I think we might get more of her, hopefully.
Yeah. Cheers to Sathia. Cheers to Lydia.
2 women.
Woo!
Cheers to Crescent City.
Yes, cheers to Crescent City. Love you, Crescent City. Want more of you. Till next time. Bye. Bye.